to another episode of Spare Time. I'm your host, Carlos. And as usual, this episode is brought to you by Umpqua Bravo, best store in town. Today, my guest is Mike and I's friend, Martin Condon. What's up, buddy?
What's happening?
How's it going?
Pretty good.
And as usual, Mike's here.
Hello, hello. Let's do it.
Martin, a lot of people probably don't know who you are, although at lunch, a lot of people knew who you were. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Introduce yourself to the world.
My name's Martin Condon. Lived in Riddle, Roseburg area since '97. I was born in Spain, lived in Okinawa, or San Diego, then moved up here. Navy brat, so, and cooking since I was 16.
I forgot about that.
How old am I now?
I don't know.
I'll be 36. No, I am 36.
Yeah, you're a young one.
I think I'm 30. I don't know. I've been cooking for 20 years. I know.
Awesome.
I know how old I am now, but there was like 20 years that every year I had to do the math.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure.
Well, just wait till you turn 50.
Fucked up part of it. I just did the math the other day. And I always forgot.
Yeah. Every time you're pulling your fingers out.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a little family, right?
I do.
New dad.
I
well, not that new anymore, but newer.
Well, got a daughter. She's going on 17 months. 16, 17 months.
How's that going?
Good. Runs the house.
Yeah.
Beautiful little turd. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, if she has half the attitude of her mom, you're in trouble.
Oh, I'm not in trouble. Mom's in trouble.
Somebody is.
It usually is the daughters.
Everyone else is in trouble.
Yeah.
I kind of got lucky, and my daughters are kind of like me.
Yeah.
Nothing like their moms. So
calm and docile.
Same with mine.
Yeah, very calm and level-headed.
Well,
no bullshit. They just.
That is more like me, but my daughters are like me too.
Yeah, I know.
Lucky for their husbands.
It is.
Lucky for their husbands, they don't look like me. So.
Hey, that would be awkward.
Yeah, that'd be creepy.
You never know.
Oh no, I'd freak out if I woke up next to me.
I'm sure you've done it a couple times.
I'm sure a couple people. Yeah.
What? Did you just say you've done it a couple times?
I'm sure you've done it a couple times.
Woke up beside myself?
Yeah.
Yes, looking in a mirror. Whoa.
Oh, maybe.
One too many rocks classes. I'm sure everyone's woke up next to themselves.
I usually wake up pretty good.
Oof.
I might not end the night very well, but
yeah.
It
takes you a while to remember.
Pretty good reset button when you sleep.
Pretty good, yeah. I mean, I can feel it sometimes.
My reset button works so good that people have to tell me what the fuck happened. I was like, really? I do not recall that.
The reset button's different than an on and off switch.
I'm not fucking responsible for drunk Mike. That's the end of it.
Well, I always say that it's bullshit when people say they don't remember everything that.
Hey,
they didn't mean anything they did when they were drinking. Because I think that's just getting to the root of who you actually are.
Oh, you mean it.
You just have a whole different set of...
drunk men don't tell lies.
You just have a whole different set of morals. Maybe.
Yeah. There is no morals. Zero.
Your whole way of thinking is different.
Yeah, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I guess.
I will say, dude, I'm pretty sure that
you're mellow.
You've babysat me way more than I've had to babysit you, so that's all right.
I try to maintain.
Because you can't find them.
Yeah. See
you
later.
Can't babysit someone you can't find.
Yeah. See ya.
Well, also, I've usually got Sarah around, and anything that I don't want to deal with, I just kind of walk away and let her deal with it. So she's lucky.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if that works for everybody's relationship, but it's how we built ours.
Yeah.
Oh, so
understandable.
What usually we spend a lot of time, for whatever reason, talking about hunting and shooting and whatnot. Which sounds like you grew up hunting and stuff down in South County.
Yeah, a little bit. So, I mean, I finally got my first deer like 3 years ago. But I got a cow and elk when I was 17. So, figure that out.
You're working backwards.
Yeah.
And you got a hunting cabin down in Tiller.
Some family property in Tiller, some cabins, and so I kind of grew up there a lot.
Beautiful.
And, my dad was hunt and fished, and so he taught me, and he'd always, elk camp was always a big one. He'd always be up, and so it was a big elk camp, and
that's awesome.
And I never actually elk hunted though until recently. So I just always worked, so I never had the time off to do the whole week. And actually, was it 3 years? 3 years ago, I think, was actually the first time I took a week off.
An actual week off, yeah.
And
how was it?
I sighted my rifle the day before elk season on my property, and I think I spooked them all across the road. So that was fun. But it was me and my buddy came up, and we he's never hunted that area before, and so he's looking at all the maps that, hand drawn maps that my dad had and everything on Onyx, and he said, "This is where I'm going to put you." And he got me way too close, way too early. So I jumped the whole herd at probably like 4:30 in the morning before daybreak. And
oh shit!
I walk up, and all of a sudden I just see the silhouette kind of stand up in the dark, and
like, oh crap!
He said they would be like another couple hundred yards away, but
that's cool.
But it was pretty cool. I didn't get one that year, but it was cool to, we saw them every night. And
that's part of the Cascade hunt, right? Or is it a?
That should be general season.
It's general season, yeah.
Yeah, Tiller's general season. Well, that's cool. So, I thought that you'd been doing it for a long time. That's neat that you're just getting into it and enjoying it.
Except for my daughter's birthday is right around elk season now, so we'll see how that pans out.
She'll be a hunter.
That's right.
Hopefully.
Get her out there early.
It's cool though when you, like the first year or two that you're getting out there to hunt, and you actually get on animals or see animals.
Oh yeah, kind of
all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, this could really happen type thing, and it makes you really want to keep doing it.
Gives you the drive. Yeah.
But what I was saying is normally we spend a lot of time talking about hunting, or shooting or whatever. Probably because it's a gun store and freaking that's what we're into.
You think?
I actually have one of my dad's mounts hanging at my house right now. Is a big old 5x6 that he got up there in that area years ago.
That's cool.
So he's
So said you've been cooking since you were 16.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I mean, that's from all the stuff I've looked at and all the people I've talked to. I mean, that's who you are, man. You're like
the chef.
The chef, yeah.
My mom calls him Chef Martin.
Chef Martin.
So it's kind of funny about that is, 24 years old when I came back from New York and ended up running O'Toole's Pub down in the kitchen and everything with them. And I kind of had an epiphany that like I wasn't Stephanie Condon's brother anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're your own person.
My own. And so, which is, I mean, I kind of always used cooking when I was younger as an outlet.
Yeah.
Don't get it wrong, I drank.
I can see that.
But, 16, 17, all pissed off teenager and
yes, sir.
Go to work and, you're in the kitchen and it's hot and it's fast and you're moving and cranking and definitely kind of was a nice outlet. And then then growing up later and actually making a career out of it. And
so that's what got you into cooking originally.
Well, originally I got, so my first job was Briggs Garden, picking beans when I was 14 down in Caneyville. So for David Briggs and his family's been around. Their family's been around for a while, and did that for 2 summers. And then I was turning 16. So my dad's like, "Well, you're gonna have a license. You're gonna have insurance. Probably should make sure you get a job." And Seven Feathers Truck and Trouble had a dishwasher ad in the paper. That's how I saw it. Was in the newspaper. I don't think that exists anymore.
No.
I don't think people look for jobs that way anymore. Yeah.
And so I went down there and interviewed as a dishwasher and did that just under 6 months. And then they asked me if I wanted to learn how to cook. And I said, if I don't know anything about it, and asked them if I could learn how to prep cook too. So I knew all the steps. And if it didn't work out, if they could put me back in the dish pit because I had bills to pay. And
anyone that's worked as a dishwasher is willing to accept any other job that they offer.
Yeah, but that was it. As long as you were working, huh?
Well, and it was actually it was like Christmas Day, so I mean it was Seven Feathers Truck and Travel, so they're open. Back then they were open 24/7. And it was, I think, Christmas Day. All the a lot of the bussers and dishwashers called in, and we're all 16, 17.
Yeah.
And I actually got done with everything about 20 minutes before my shift was over, so they let me leave, and I came back on my Monday and asked me if I want to learn how to cook.
You're like, hey, this kid showed some effort.
Yeah. So it was, it was
awesome.
It was pretty cool. And then when I asked if I could learn how to prep cook, you can kind of see like, oh, you want to learn 2 jobs for the price of one? All right.
Yeah.
So, and then and I just, if I asked them.
And were you just hooked or what?
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
It clicked, yeah.
Yeah.
That's badass.
And obviously, you took to it because
look at you now.
They would have kicked you to the curb otherwise.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then 2006, graduated high school, went to the UCC, did their certificate program when it was running. Mm-hmm. And then 2009, I went over to OCCI over in Coos Bay and did the associates program.
So, explain a little bit about how a culinary school works. I mean, what all are you learning? I always kind of wondered that.
So they run it like a business. I mean, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. Typically, we'd spend some time in the classroom going over things, simple stuff, culinary math, things like that. Serve Safe and more in depth. Serve Safe is kind of a more in depth food handlers. They actually, it breaks everything down on microbes and botulism and the whole nine. And then a little bit of art for, and then our practical would be in the kitchen. And we'd go over.
And the art must be for presentation type stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so when we're in the classroom, in the kitchen, we're actually, learning skills, knife skills, how to handle things, proper temperatures, times. And then, every semester would be a little different. We'd learn some international stuff. We'd learn a little bit of baking and things like that. And then I was fortunate enough to work with the executive director at that time, studying for his master's exam, which is one of the hardest. From what I understand, it's one of the hardest exams to actually take. So it's an 8-day test to get your master chef.
Holy crap.
And they go over everything.
Is that maybe why so many people specialize in certain areas in the culinary, or because it's so hard to do that? Or
yeah, I mean, I think it just people kind of find their niche a little bit.
Sure.
But I mean, you get to that scope. I want to say there's probably 80, 85 master chefs in America. Total.
Really? No shit.
So
that's pretty small.
Yeah.
That's a select freaking people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
definitely, yeah.
There's a lot of, the pre-tests and everything you got to take to pass to even get qualified to take the exam.
Wow. So, it sounds like it's pretty tough.
It's really tough.
Pretty tough. I mean, it's not like regular going to college where you can be there or not be there.
Right.
I mean, you have to
want to be there.
Well,
yeah.
you have to. So, I mean, a lot of it's participation. I mean, if you're not there, you don't.
Sure.
They don't teach it the next day again. I mean, you kind of move past that. Actually,
no do-overs.
Actually sprained my ankle when I was in Christmas break. And so the doctor's like, well, you can't walk on it and put weight on it for like 9 months. And I was like, well, I go to school and I live on the second floor of the dorms and I have a job. And he's like, well, then you'll need surgery. And I was like, well, I can't quit going to school because I can't just miss a term and go back. I'd have to wait for
start all over. Yeah.
So it's not typical.
Can you just give me some painkillers?
Yeah. Wrap the fucker up so I can do what I got to do.
I just told him I'd see him in 10 years for surgery, and and I went back to school.
Yeah.
Nice. So you said that they taught you a little bit about baking, also.
A little bit.
So, is it true what they say that some cooks can't bake and some
100%.
people that bake can't cook?
100%. So baking's more of a science.
Is that?
I mean, it's you.
More mathematics into it.
Yeah, and cooking is kind of more art. I mean, you taste and play. I mean, there is some, science and everything. That goes into
makes
cooking,
sense.
But baking is pretty mathematical. When you
Are you one of those people? Can you do both?
I can't decorate a cake to save my life very well.
But it'll taste all right.
It'll taste great, and it might take me a little longer than the next guy. But I do enjoy baking. I do, I mean, there's a lot, and I think when I do try to do some baking, I push a little bit, do more than I think I know I can.
Because you're a fucking chef, that's all.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm a fucking chef. I'm
going to do this.
I can do probably like composed desserts a little bit better. I mean, obviously than like cake decorating and things like that, where there are different components that come together on a plate.
Sure.
I can do that a lot better, and breads and things like that. But when it comes to straight pastries all day long, I'll give it my all, 100%. But I don't know. I'm going to be up either really, really late or up really, really early trying to fix some mistakes from the day before.
No kidding.
Well, that's cool, though. I mean, at least you know where your strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah.
But, I just always wondered that. I don't know. I like cooking. And I've done a little bit of baking, but and honestly, everything I've cooked or baked both turned out just fine. I just,
well, you decorate a cake and you let me know.
Yeah.
I don't even like eating cake. I don't even like cake. So.
And that's the thing is I'm not really a sweets guy. I mean, I just every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't just like wake up and crave.
I used to, but I've been trying to get away from the sugar, and the longer you're away from it, the less you crave it. So I'm doing pretty good. But I do enjoy doing that stuff. Now, lately, I've been really enjoying learning my smoker and trying some different stuff there
on the barbecue.
Yeah, my
grilling,
my smoker and my Blackstone are like, I'm like in love with both of those things. So now I know you got like a food trailer.
I do,
and you were doing I don't know. Are you still doing the like catering type thing?
I have a few clients that I still make sure to take care of on the private chef side of things. Outside of my job I have now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's it's a full setup. It's a full kitchen. On top of that,
yeah, Mike told me about it. I've seen pictures of it. It looks pretty badass. So.
I have a 7-foot rotisserie that I use every year in Portland for a big wild game dinner. Mm-hmm. And then Trox and I, we built an offset wood smoker trailer.
Wood smoker, yeah.
So we use that. Use that quite a bit. And then so this two summers ago, I got into Southern Throwdown doing the barbecue competition, which is a whole nother monster.
Yeah.
So
how's that whole thing work?
It was pretty cool, pretty wild. So the first year I actually placed in the chicken category, but kind of we were next to my team. We were next to Small Axe Barbecue out of Portland, and kind of became pretty good colleagues with them, and got some pretty good advice. And they travel all over. I mean, that's
what they specialize in, though.
That's right? So they're they're
competition guys.
Competition.
It's crazy that nowadays you can
that's a business.
Make a career out of just doing competition barbecue.
They've been to the Jack Daniel's Invitational and all that. And so, I mean, they're ranked pretty high in the KCBS and all that. So pretty cool to meet them, and they're in Portland. So I can
Oregon-based company.
Oregon-based,
yeah.
and
Business,
I can
I
text them and ask them questions, and so they do pretty good, kind of help me out, and which is pretty cool. I mean, there's some trade secrets, of course, but I mean, most of the competitors are pretty open about what they do and how they do it, which is also not normal in a competition base. I mean, usually, but then the second year I didn't place, which, I mean, I'm not mad at it. Again, I've only done 2 barbecue competitions,
But you got the experience.
so
Yeah.
Was it kick in the ass or?
oh yeah, and it's Southern Throwdown. It's it's a good cause
I helped
too.
sponsor the first year he did it over there.
Yeah, no, it's a
So
great cause too.
on the second year, how many contestants, I guess?
So the first
Didn't it
year
grow
was the
pretty-
Pacific Northwest Barbecue Association. The second year was the KCBS. I don't quote me on this. I want to say there was at least
It was
30
substantially
teams.
bigger.
Yeah. I think that sounds about right.
32 teams, like
Yeah.
6 or 7 more teams than the year before.
That's cool.
Um,
And it's local. That's what's kind of cool
yeah,
about
and
it.
it's really cool too the way they do it. It's it's a fundraiser.
Yeah.
To raise money for
Yeah.
for scholarships for the trade industry for these kids, and
Yeah.
most of these people that barbecue and cook. I mean, it's a trade, and
Copy.
so it's cool to see that going back in, and
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
and I want to say the first year I think they raised over $20,000 in scholarships.
Yeah.
That very
Wow.
first year they did it.
Yeah, that's neat. And there's it's a pretty good turnout over there too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think
There's so much stuff going on like the same time though. If it was on like a weekend and there wasn't so many things going on.
like what? What else is going on?
I don't remember. I just remember there's lots of stuff going on because every year I wanted to go, and I'm always doing something.
Was there a
else.
banquet going on, or?
Yeah, it could be. I don't remember what it is.
Maybe you're just busy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always busy. But yeah, that first year, I know I helped sponsor it, and then I was going to go out, and I don't remember why, and then last year I was going to come out. I think it was pouring down rain. I think that's why I didn't go out last year.
It sprinkled a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. But it's kind of cool. I mean, all the competitors are, we're there.
Some of those guys got some crazy setups too.
And some of them show up with nothing but a cot and a sleeping bag, and they're
And they do good.
and they do great.
Yes.
Yeah.
they have it down. So I kind of always go a little overboard, bring everything. And the first year I brought the rotisserie, did a 135-pound lamb, as well as the competition meats and
Yeah, so that
stuff like that.
sounds like that was a pretty good. That was received pretty good, I guess, with the crowd.
Yeah,
That's cool though. You're like showing off.
I know,
I don't like it.
but I do
This
it.
happens.
That's what happens. He says,
Just gives me
"Copy."
an excuse to buy more toys.
Yeah,
Yeah. So is barbecue one of your favorite things to do, or?
I really do enjoy it. I like barbecue.
or just grilling or barbecuing.
I mean, I like barbecuing, and I feel like barbecue. It's really grown on me in the last 5 years. Actually, like barbecue, because there's a lot more to it than it really kind of meets the eye.
Sure.
So it kind of piqued my interest when I was kind of diving into
challenge.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Typically, I do more composed type food, or kind of more of a fine dining setting. A lot of times when I picture something, but so I mean it's nice. I mean I can do anything from barbecue to 8-course, wine dinners, things like that. So plated and paired, and
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've like I said, the last couple of years I've really been getting more into using my smoker and barbecue and stuff, and I kind of like how. I don't know. I like the rewarding feeling afterwards when you follow this recipe or whatever. And
it turns out
I loosely follow recipes. I always
as you should.
I always change things to suit me. But I mean, when you work on a piece of meat for freaking 16 hours. And it turns out like, and everybody,
everybody that eats it is like, holy shit.
It's pretty rewarding.
Yeah.
It feels pretty good.
Yeah.
So, I currently work out at Bar Run Golf as a food and beverage manager out there. And so we were doing a skins tournament the other day, a couple Sundays ago. And, so we plan on having about, 50 or so guys out there. And so I wanted to do brisket for them. And so, midnight.
That's how you posted that.
So yeah, at midnight, I'm getting the smoker going, and it's, of course, the weather changed and now it's raining. And, so it was, I'm standing in a mud puddle, and, I'm just like, man, I wish I had muck boots right now for this barbecue weather in Oregon. And, but it is kind of cool, to be able to set something up like that. And, like you said, come back, 12, 14, 16, 18 hours later and have something. It's
people pleased with what you have. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just kind of, it's always, it's fun and it's different. And
I dig it though. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm working on smaller scale though. So I go to bed and I'm like,
you're always thinking,
waking up halfway through the night and wanting to run out there and check to make sure that it didn't come unplugged or kick off or the freaking flame went out or actually out there I do have a triggered system, so I don't really have to worry about it. If I'm doing like my offset, it's wood fire, and it's about every 40, 45 minutes I got to put a chunk of wood on there. And then the rotisserie, I usually use charcoal for that. So that constantly monitoring. Mm-hmm. But, if I'm using the pellet, I've just learned to just trust it.
Rely on the technology.
And if it doesn't work,
damn it,
figure it out tomorrow. And it actually lets me take a nap. So,
I always stress about it though, man. I haven't had a problem yet, but
that's why I always tie the cord and not plug it in.
I always stress it. Is the auger going to get plugged up? Is something like that.
Well, that's why you start it early and you get it nice and get it warmed up, and that way you can see it's functioning right. And then usually,
worst case scenario, we get Instapot meat. Yeah.
Instapot it.
Instapot brisket.
Yep.
Now we got that coworker of mine, Mark. I think he had some brisket or something that you cooked, so it got his interest in, I can smoke stuff, I can barbecue stuff, and so he went out and bought a little Chief Smoker secondhand off of like Facebook Marketplace.
Because anyone knows that Mark would never buy it.
Well, he ended up burning his fucking house down.
Oh shit!
Cooking a brisket
on a little Chief.
Yeah,
it's your fault.
No.
Only tried it because of you.
Allegedly.
Because it sparked his interest on.
Allegedly. Yeah, I mean, the little Chiefs.
It goes into the
little Chiefs. They're the.
You got to watch what you're doing.
They're the cold smokers type thing. And, you just have that electric element. There's no safeguarding on grease and fat when it comes to that.
When it goes, it goes.
You just look at all those people that deep fry turkeys on their back porch.
There you go.
So there's all kind of deep fried turkey story.
Because you put your cold oil in there, put your turkey in there, put your cold oil in there to get your height. Get your, and then you pull your turkey out or even water, and get the oil level.
The volume.
And the oil expands when it heats up. So
we when I was at Lowe's, we had every year Lowe's sells turkey fryers and the big things of freaking oil
and all that shit.
So does it come with a warning?
The box has warranty inside. So one year, one of the assistant managers was like, "I'm going to do a demo and we're going to deep fry a turkey today." Right in front of the store.
We're going to show people
5
what
feet
not
from the
to
freaking
do.
entrance.
Oh, jeez. I can only imagine.
Well, that turkey wasn't 100% thawed out, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So he had the oil all heated up, and then when he dropped that turkey in there, it boiled over. Freaking there was oil going everywhere.
On fire,
And,
I would assume.
Oof.
No, it didn't light on fire. I mean, we didn't have a fire, but I mean, there was oil everywhere.
So then it wasn't even hot enough to.
And then it freaking. So finally, and you couldn't get close enough to do anything because it was everywhere and it's freaking hot. Finally, when we got up there to turn it all off, the whole front entrance
Was soaked with
oil. So it was like a skating rink. And we're out there with like ice melt, throwing it on there, trying to freaking make it so you can at least walk into the store.
Why didn't they just cut some 2x4s down from some sawdust?
Oh my God, dude, it was hilarious, man. It was the biggest clusterfuck.
Our mutual friend James Moore, I think you're friends. I was friends with his brother.
Yeah.
His brother was running a crew on Adair Homes down in Medford. And they did the whole caught the fucking garage on fire with the turkey fryer on a home that they were building.
Yeah, they've got all sorts of warnings on those things because so many people have fires and stuff that goes on. Yeah, that was a mess though.
Well, was really actually interesting. So I was reading something. So there's a group of doctors that actually follow food trend injuries.
Oh yeah,
no shit.
So when like avocado toast was big, so there's an injury called avocado hand. So there was enough people.
They got a name for it.
There was enough people that actually were going to the emergency room because they'd cut their hand, making avocado toast, trying to,
I'll be damned.
Sarah stabbed herself in the palm.
Yep.
Avocado, making avocado toast.
There you go.
She was being a smart ass with the pit.
Yeah.
And actually,
avocado
we're
hand.
like, hey, be careful, don't hurt yourself. And then instead of freaking getting the pit out normal, she fucking goes to stab it, missed it, and fucking went right into her hand, dude. It was hilarious.
Avocado hand.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking funny. Yep.
Amazing.
I'll tell her they named it after her.
They did. It's a Sarah hand.
That doesn't surprise me though.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure.
it only takes about probably 10% to get
And the
things
internet, has just helped that trend.
Definitely.
With like people fucking eating cinnamon and shit.
Look what I can do.
Themselves to death.
Try to drink a gallon of milk.
Oh God. Oh shit. So, what are, I know you're into the barbecue thing a little bit, but what are some of your favorite things to cook?
What do you want?
What do you enjoy doing?
What do you want?
All of it, he says. Every bit.
No, I enjoy it. I've had some customers that, they wanted a well done butterflied filet mignon, and I'm like, okay. And
isn't that like sacrilege?
However, so they're eating their dinner, and I asked how it was, and I said it's the best thing they ever had. So then, is it sacrilege if it's the best thing they've ever had?
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, customer base for it.
I wouldn't personally, plan that or choose that, but it's, it's easy for me to cook for someone that tells me what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my way of doing things, and I'm going to do that every time. But if there's a specific, like, hey, I want this, this, and this, great. I'll do that. I won't even question it. So
you're not one of those chefs that's like, no, this is the way it's done.
No. If you don't ask, you're going to get it the way it's done. But if you specifically tell me certain things, fine. But you're eating it. You want that experience. You're paying for that experience, that service, for what you want.
Yeah.
I've been the last couple of years I've been like basically giving in to whatever, follow the artist basically type of thing. So like if I go
just smile and nod.
I'm like if I go to like my buddy Bryant, he owns Little Brothers Pub. Half the time I don't even order. I just tell him to make me something, and he'll try out things that aren't on the menu with me and. Whatever. And I've found that I do pretty good. I really have enjoyed a lot of the stuff I've got. I mean, a lot of times if you do that, the person cooking will give you the freshest stuff or try things that...
Well, they put more... It's almost like a challenge, like you were saying, and they just put more effort into it.
I just want to have good food. I don't care. I could probably count on one hand the things I don't like. So, I mean, I know I'm not going to be disappointed.
Yeah, same. I know there's only like 2 things I don't really
and
like.
most of the stuff I don't like, I'll still eat it. I just don't like the texture.
When you were at O'Toole's, a little kind of sidetrack story. My dad, before he passed away, felt it just fucking phenomenal to him was your burnt end macaroni. That was the best shit ever. You know, here he is, fucking 70-some years old, and this is the best macaroni I've ever had.
That was my favorite too.
Yeah.
Sarah's favorite thing at O'Toole's?
Mozzarella sticks?
No.
Oh.
Fucking beer cheese soup.
Oh.
She loved that. And she was so heartbroken when O'Toole's closed.
Yeah.
So
And she has tried to replicate that so many times.
I can give her a recipe.
Yeah. She's gotten pretty close. She's been pretty happy with herself.
Is it grainy?
I have no idea, dude.
Is it grainy? Have you had it?
I don't particularly care for it that much. Just because it's got that bitter taste to it.
Well, it shouldn't be that better.
I've never cared for beer cheese soup that much. I'll eat it, but I don't. But she loved it.
Yeah, I do probably about 2 gallons of that a day. But it was also my base in my mac and cheese was the mac and cheese.
I just remember Dad everywhere we went. You know, Bandon. We went to the coast a lot. Bandon, Newport, or whatever. He would always order that. He's like, Martin's is way better. This doesn't even stand a chance to what Martin made.
And I'm sure he was more than willing to let people know
fuck
that.
yeah, he did.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
100%.
Actually, it was probably one of the craziest challenges was actually at O'Toole's. So we had a couple that they purchased a gift certificate at an auction for a 5-course beer pairing dinner.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And so they make the reservation and they wanted to add a couple people. And so we're like, yep, sure, great. You know, Friday at 5 o'clock. Well, we didn't know they wanted to cash in the certificate. So when they show up and our server hands them the menu and they're like, oh, well, how do we know what to order with what beer we're having? Pretty weird question. Right. So it comes out that they were all planning on being there with a 5-course beer paired dinner.
Oh, they didn't realize it was something they should have scheduled.
Well, they just forgot to mention that that's what they were wanting.
Ah, gotcha.
And so they, came down and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. So from the moment I said yes to the first course went out was 45 minutes. But from the moment I said yes to the moment they were done with their 5th course was an hour and a half. So it was 5 people, so it was 50 dishes in an hour and a half.
So you did your fucking due diligence to make it fucking
and
that's pretty impressive then.
That right there that was one of it was one of those man, I wish I just had a camera in here, because I'm pulling things out of the walk-ins. And
so did you get any feedback from the customer?
They all seem to love it and enjoy it, and
that's awesome.
That makes it worth it right there.
But it was one of those things, and they knew they knew what I was doing. They knew that I was just kind of winging it and pulling it out and nothing planned. And
right.
So that was pretty wild. That was pretty fun. So
cool.
It was probably one of the better days. It's just because that type of thing never happens.
My niece had been trying to get apparently Casey's a teacher or whatever now.
Mm-hmm.
And she talks to him every once in a while. She's been trying to convince him that he should come on the podcast. I think it'd be cool. I'll take anyone. I don't care. I think everybody's got stories.
You'll take anyone? Dang.
No.
I thought I was special.
That's one thing I figured out. Everybody's got cool stories.
I thought I was special.
So with I guess the majority or a big part of your culinary stuff has been Douglas County coming back.
Yeah, so I
to this area.
So I was down in Canyonville. I was at the truck stop about 4.5 years, and then I left and I went I was trying to go to school up in Portland. So I was actually staying in Washington, and there was the It was weird. The banks are like, oh, the school says they cost this much. The schools cost this much. And so nothing was really updated in the system. And so I couldn't get into that school before school started because it was the school's responsibility to update their pricing to the bank in order to get the school loan, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I was up there a couple weeks and then I ended up coming back down here. And then spent a couple, you know, just under a couple years in Coos Bay. And that's where I learned so much from that school, from those, you know, the chefs there. Oh, it's, yeah, I mean, hands down. Those chefs, I mean, there was over 150 years experience between, you know, the chefs that were teaching there. And one of the chefs I actually, you know, learned a little bit of ice carving from, and he actually got me and another student up to Fairbanks, the World Ice Art Championships, which is
just cool as hell.
Which is insane to think about. They just finished their this year, so they have like I think a 3-day 2-block ice competition. You know, there's usually two carvers, 2 artists, and then they have a 5-day multi-block, which is like 46,000 pounds of ice. And there's a team of 4. Wow. And there's one of the largest ice carving competitions, and there are people from all over the globe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they had their largest. I think this year was their largest year. They had 28 teams from around the world.
Damn.
How was that pretty cool?
It was amazing. Cold. It was negative 32 degrees. And we're out there, you know, 12, 14 hours a day carving ice.
Just chipping away. Huh?
And yeah.
Is there spectators or no?
Some.
Just the diehards?
Yeah. So yeah, after it's done, it kind of, you know, it's open, you know, kind of opens up to the public, and because it doesn't melt for a while. And so it'll be standing there and people will go through and check things out. And
I actually went to, when Sarah and I went through North Pole, Alaska, at the Christmas store right next door, they've got the reindeer or whatever. Well, it's kind of like a little park area, and they had just had a freaking ice sculpture competition because there was a bunch of ice sculptures still out there. Some of them were starting to fall apart, but
you got to see some of the display. Yeah.
Yeah. That was definitely not a big, huge thing like that, but there were some pretty cool ones.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, you can't even really describe it. Like,
so you were up there for
2 weeks,
a couple weeks, huh?
Yeah.
Just for carving ice.
I wonder, is it similar to like a chainsaw carving thing?
So yeah, so it is. It's chainsaws, stack grinders, angle grinders.
Okay. Any tool that you can use, probably.
It's probably got to be a little bit more freaking tender with the way you move.
Definitely got to be artistic.
Yeah, I mean, those, you know, at that level, they're not changing bits. They're not changing. I mean, they have different bar sizes and different size saws and sawmill. You know, you have your Alaskan sawmills and you have your nail boards and you use irons.
I would think ice would be kind of unforgiving. I mean, you're like,
well, not at 32 below,
right?
It's 40 below.
Know, dude. I would think the colder it gets, the more brittle it becomes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, you know, I can't tell you the science on how the molecular level of how ice is formed.
Well, I mean, you get a little vibration and all of a sudden a big chunk just off.
When the
solid.
When the, you know, the chunks of ice are, you know, 4,600 pounds. They're not really small pieces of ice.
What did you guys carve when you were there?
So we carved it was a 30-foot by 15-foot walrus and a big rock bluff with
30 feet long
with a Indian silhouette.
Nuts.
The Indian silhouette with the headdress, and then a polar bear on top.
That's like 3 of your fucking truck lengths.
That's crazy, yeah.
And it was, I want to say it was 28 feet tall.
Damn.
I think that's what it was. And so in Alaska, it was called Ancient Battle. And so in Alaska, the polar bears go for the walrus babies. What's the baby walrus called?
A baby.
Baby.
For the sake of science, we'll call it a baby.
Yeah.
A baby walrus.
So we kind of, played off, off of that. And then so we had the rock bluff with the polar bear coming over, and then, the walrus kind of protecting. But I mean, that year, I saw like a 15-foot bird cage with a parrot inside.
Just crazy stuff.
Yeah, just insane. So I mean, it's the World Ice Art Championships in Fairbanks. I mean, you can look it up. So Chef Chris Foltz, he lives over at the coast. He's the one that if you go to Abandoned Docks, the blue ring octopus, all that, he's done all those carvings there. So he's the local talent. He does the wood and ice. Travels all over, teaches at the school and everything.
Wow!
Now. And so he's the one that
that's awesome.
Got me there, and it was pretty wild. It was a lot of fun.
I bet.
I don't even know, what does ice carving have to do with culinary, though? I mean, is it?
I mean, quite a bit. I mean, so when you have your buffets and stuff, you have your swan. Your ice carving swan, things like that, or you might have a
flower,
or
yeah,
what I mean, or a logo.
That was just like some other artist that just did some stuff.
A lot of times it's done with a chef.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So one of the greatest of the grapes I did an ice carving. I did kind of a rock bluff I did a white wine luge. So the white wine would be chilled, poured over it with a logo, the O'Toole's Pub on it, on the table and everything. And so that's, stuff like that is generally more what you see in the culinary realm. But again, so there's some of these guys, a lot of the guys out there, they are chefs. One of them, he's a pastry chef. He goes out there. Another one is another instructor. He's out there. He also does sandcastles. He does pumpkins.
Badass.
He's been on
just a wide range.
It's that sandcastle competition that they have up in, I think they do it at Seaside.
Yeah.
Where they freaking build these sandcastles and then blow them up. Dude, that thing's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, you did get a lot of crossover.
That's freaking neat.
I mean,
I didn't even have any clue that was all kind of interlocked together.
Yeah, I mean, artists are crazy.
So, what are some of the more difficult things that you've had to cook? Is there anything that you absolutely hate having to do?
Or you would have your rather not
testicles are, I mean, did the Rocky Mountain oysters. Those were tedious. Fava beans.
Not easy.
Fava beans are tedious. You have the whole thing. You peel them, blanch them, peel them. I mean, it's just tedious stuff.
Routine.
Yeah. But I mean, otherwise, I mean, I've done all.
I don't think I've ever ate testicles or fava beans.
I have.
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
Dude.
They're kind of like chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
The testicles, not the fava beans.
I was thinking more.
We're talking about actually eating
balls,
them, not just having them in your mouth, dude.
Well, I know. I swallowed. I knew that would make you smile. But I was thinking more like water chestnut type texture when we had them fried with eggs. And
So I had them, I'd kind of cook them down in a bouillon type, and then
sure.
And then you got to peel them.
Get the sauce.
And then, slice them in medallions and then breaded them and fried them. And the texture was kind of like chicken nuggets. They say chickens don't have nuggets, so.
We just did the redneck bullshit of slicing them up and cooking them, frying them in butter, and here's your breakfast, eat it. Shut the fuck up. Ranch stuff.
But the stuff you don't particularly care to cook is stuff that has a lot of
balls
steps to it, or what?
No, it's just... I think those are just the two that kind of stand out.
Sure.
That were just the more tedious. I mean, nothing's really been hard. Nothing's been, like I said, I enjoyed doing it all. I mean, from whole animals to, I mean, everything.
And you, Mike touched on it, but you started doing a What's it called? The Oregon Game?
So it's the Hilaire's Game Dinner. It's up in Portland. Actually, this year's their 80th anniversary.
It's called the what?
It's the Hilaire. I'm probably mispronouncing it. It's a game dinner. So it kind of started out
global
years ago when all the ducks and geese were destroying crops, and so they kind of had open season. Open season. Take care of these birds are destroying all these crops, and so these guys got together and they were duck hunting and geese, and then so they would kind of do a big dinner. Just get together, and now it's kind of turned into what it is now, and it's a kind of fundraiser for like the Compass Outdoor Group, and they're able to help get kids that go on these hunts and teach them why and how to hunt,
sure,
versus just going out and killing an animal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's more in depth.
Gives them more.
Gavin told me that you've been like a head chef on that for years now.
My first year attending it was when I was in culinary school. The executive director was running the staff, and then 2013 or 14, he had moved over towards the East Coast and gave me the reins, and so then I've been running the kitchen since then. It's all volunteer based. So, you get guys come up and volunteer. They give us room and board at the hotel, and we get about 1,000 pounds of wild game that we process, from duck, geese,
you name it,
antelope, elk, deer,
that's awesome,
guinea pig, rattlesnake, nutria, beaver. 1 year I didn't have wolf, cougar, bear, whole hog.
Just about every continent.
Razor clams.
Is
that's pretty cool. That would be a lot of people, and that's not
phenomenal.
There's a lot of people that don't know how to cook wild game, so I mean that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun and a lot of work.
It's a lot of different wild game too.
So we start process everything about three days before the actual dinner service. And we feed about 300 or so guests.
God, that'd be cool, dude. I'd love to do something like that.
Alligator.
Is there a lot of the stuff that you've had to like do research and call phone a friends to make sure you get it right?
A couple things. Yeah. But I mean, primarily, I know, once you kind of process everything, you can kind of cook a little bit, cook a little piece of it, kind of taste it to see what it needs, or the texture, if it, but a lot of it is also just, I worked it a few years before I ran it. So, I learned a lot in those few years on how to process it all. And
you had a kind of a heads up type.
Mm-hmm. And there's a few recipes that have kind of been passed down. So we always make sure we do those few things, and then everything else is just kind of on a whim what we want to do every year.
That's awesome. Yeah, I bet that's fun.
Oh, it's a blast. And a shit show all at the same time.
Several guys, or helpers, I guess, employees, whatever, however you want to look at it, from Roseburg that go up there.
Yeah. So, I mean, primarily everyone I've been taking up there is from Roseburg.
Nice.
This is cool. So
yeah, we go up there. Like I said, we're up there. We're up there 3 days. Then we come back. So we're up there. 4 or 5 days total. And
that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
my boys, between the two of them, the last 3 years or 2 years, have helped you. I think Gavin's went up there twice.
No, I think Gavin's been three times. 3 times. I think John's twice, or maybe 4 and 3. I don't know. It all kind of runs together. I don't really think about it until next month.
It's just kind of neat that they get to take part in that, and they have. I don't know how it's going to work this year because they're both off on their
Gavin's
own things.
Closer.
Yes,
Gavin's close. I just need to get
a hold of him.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool.
I'll come up as a taste tester.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We kind of take over the kitchen in the hotel. kind of just do what we need to do. And
it's a fundraising event. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got, what's his name from here in Roseburg? I knew him when I was Kurt and Eddie. Yeah, I think Kurt, what do you guys call Kurt? Gator.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Eifert.
Eifert, yeah.
Yep, he goes up, so he'll bring his smoker up. And,
just cool as hell.
Nice.
He
was one of the judges on a chili cook-off that I just did a couple months ago.
Well, and it's kind of crazy. There's a couple of guys that are actually at the game dinner that are from this area.
Yeah, Douglas County.
Yeah, so one of the guys that goes up and helps, he was there last year and helping out. One of the guys recognized his last name. And so he came up to us after the dinner and everything, and we're all outside, smoking cigars and have some drinks with the guys and bullshitting. And so he's talking to him, and he actually babysat him like a couple times, like
when he was
years ago.
Younger,
It's just kind of cool to and kind of see the kind of full circle from these guys that are from the area that are up there, and
that is neat as hell.
Here I am from this area up there, and cooking for all these guys, and
I just didn't, I knew you talked about it and stuff like that in the past and everything, and then when Gavin came home, and he just was totally blown away at how big and how...
Yeah, Gavin told me about it originally.
He was totally amazed.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. To see my kids interested in shit. It's always kind of neat. But
I think Gavin's kind of interested in a lot of stuff.
He was totally amazed at the amount of people.
Yeah.
And where they all came from across, the globe and all that shit.
Yeah.
With that being said, this is a good spot to pause for a minute. All right, we're back. Honestly, that was a very well-needed break.
What are you saying?
Well,
were you floating?
I almost overflowed the toilet.
Yeah.
I had to pee a lot.
Too much information.
So, we were talking about that wild game dinner. That sounds freaking awesome. No, I really would like to go to something like that. I wonder why they don't do something like that around here. That'd be freaking neat.
I mean, I know they have, was it the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation?
Yeah, none of them have.
Yeah, that's
they
not,
have freaking prime rib and chicken.
It has nothing to do with local or state.
Yeah,
I go to all those banquets. None of them have wild game.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The closest I've heard is there's a...
I think they do have something at Seven Feathers.
Farm to table dinner that they do sometime, I guess. But that's mostly...
It's
around here?
Yeah.
Somewhere around here, yeah. That's mostly...
Local animals or...
I don't think there's much wild game with that.
No, but anything that you would see on a farm from...
Something like Avocado.
Put together some kind of a fundraiser, though, locally.
Yeah.
Because I bet a bunch of outfitters would donate meat.
Oh, hell yeah.
That'd be neat.
Well, it's, obviously crossing into that, it's, got to be a non-profit type thing in order to serve wild game and all that.
Sure.
Kind of invitation only. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Our buddy Shane, he's from
West Virginia,
so he's from, kind of the South or whatever. He made, they call it the South.
He called it jambalaya.
Yeah,
he made jambalaya at Elk Camp. His jambalaya mix.
Yeah. And he had he ordered
Louisiana crawdads and gator.
Yeah, ordered gator over crawdads, and then he had shrimp,
local shrimp.
Yeah, that shit was good.
The red potatoes and white potatoes or yellow potatoes, something like that.
Was it jambalaya or like a boil?
Oh, it was a boil. I would call it a boil.
No, because it was rice.
Yes,
it was mostly rice.
Because he added rice. He was calling it a jambalaya.
Well, jambalaya has rice in it.
Oh my God, it was good.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
It was just overfilling good. I ate so fucking much that night. Oh my God.
Yeah. It was tough, dude, because I was drinking so much whiskey at the same time.
But that's how our elk camps go. Yeah. Is we end up eating way fucking better than we ever do at home.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to outdo each other.
Every night it's something special.
I remember going up to camp. Memorial Weekend was a big one. We'd 1 year
With the family or
family and friends. I think 1 year we had 28 people staying.
Holy crap. That's like a family reunion, man.
Well, and it was, friends and family, people my dad worked with. And we had 28 people staying there, and I think one day we had like 36 hanging out. They'd always plan the dinners and everything. And so but the one night we'd always do like a Mongolian grill style. So everyone be responsible for bringing something.
Sure.
And so we'd have, a big old sheet of plywood with all the fixings. And then,
that's awesome.
And then we had the fucking outdoor chef burners, the 2 burners, and I had a couple woks. And so they'd come through and then I'd,
cook up whatever
cook everything
meat
in the wok kind of thing. Like,
that's
kind of
pan fry the
That's
noodles.
a good idea. Dude.
Yeah, and that
would be something neat.
We always do like potluck, but
you guys have a huge fucking family there's always family members.
It was just, and it was just that I'd stand there with the, so you walk out just kind of like a buffet, like one on the grill.
I know.
But yeah, we had the garlic oil and
that's badass.
Everything, beef, chicken, and then everyone just responsible for bringing a part of it.
Sure.
And so it doesn't break the bank. And
I remember the heat chart with the oils.
Yes.
It would tell you, like, if you put this
one drop
this oil, it's going to get this hot. And if you put this, and this oil, it's going to be this hot.
Or the seeds.
And I was like, fuck it, put all
of it. Every bit of it.
Make it as hot as it'll go. But yeah, I missed that. That's a brilliant idea, though. I like that idea.
Yeah, and it was really fun. It was really cool.
I mean, I've always heard, the potluck thing. That's what we do, but I never thought about the thing and you just bring shit to throw in a wok.
Because then you don't have to. You're not going to pick everything. I mean,
no.
You might. I would. You would. But some people won't. They'll just get kind of what they want.
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
And then, but it's a fresh, hot cooked meal too. And
can I just get some sticky rice?
No.
And then
you must eat your meat.
And then we'd always do like the hobo stew.
Sure.
So
that's usually like the last day or whatever you make your chili and all that shit. And
chili is nothing like hobo stew.
No, your drunk chili is everything
like meatloaf.
Right.
Okay.
The Dutch oven, anything you can cook in the Dutch oven is what they.
Oh, dude, we're Dutch oven.
Yes, during the camping trip, but
yeah, we'd always do kind of that.
But usually it was the end of the trip. Carlos would do his drunk chili.
It's everything that was left.
All the spices.
I've got an idea to it. That's
burger,
what I actually made for that chili cook-off.
Your beans. Couple different beans.
I didn't do it. It was the first time I've ever done it in like a crock pot.
I don't think you were drunk enough. That's what happened.
Dude, I won that shit. I was robbed.
I was robbed, he says.
We were just at lunch. They were telling me that all the people that were in that freaking competition were over at the coast
talking about
riding 4-wheelers and stuff, and they all went to lunch.
Talking about your corn,
and they all started talking
and
about my cornbread and chili and how awesome it was, and how I should have freaking at least placed.
You should have been like the rest of them, made it out of can from fucking Costco or Walmart.
You know what's funny, dude? We're at a chili cook-off, right? First off, I had people ask, they ask you what's in it, kind of.
Right.
And you tell them, it's fucking chili. You're telling them some stuff. And they're like, oh, well, I can't eat that. It's got freaking beans in it.
What the fuck?
It's a fucking chili cook-off.
Yeah.
And then I have people that are like, is it spicy? Once again, it's a fucking
You're
chili
goddamn
cook-off.
right it is. Not to me, but it will be to you. Fuck off.
I know, this is fucking Oregon. We're not over in Texas.
Texas.
Chili doesn't freaking have beans, whatever. But you're...
Well, it depends on what part of Texas.
You know where you're at.
Yeah.
Depends on what part of Texas.
Yeah.
When I think of chili, I think of beans, and I think of spices.
Burger and spices.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what it is, dude.
Yeah.
And fully embrace all of that.
Yeah.
So, and meat, dude. My chili is so meaty, dude.
Don't not embrace that.
Dude,
Your cornbread is phenomenal, by the way.
I don't change anything, dude. I just do my thing.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, fuck them.
I do believe you were robbed. It just sounds funny when you say it, though.
I was nice though. I was like, whatever, dude. I honestly just did it to have fun. I did have fun.
Well, that's the thing. It's all for fun. I mean, it's just fun. You know, it's just
and it's going to be an annual thing now, apparently. And they asked me if I'd be part of
for Rick
putting it on.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Or they asked me if I'd be part of sponsoring it and putting it on. So I'm going to be part of putting it together this time. So we're going to change it up a little so it's more fair to everybody.
What's funny is because I want to judge those things versus compete in them. Because people are like, oh man, I want you to. I'm like, I don't really want to compete in them. I'd rather judge
right.
I told you Kurt was one of the judges this time,
right? Yeah. But to like kind of bring my side of it,
your expertise,
and
I love it. And Kurt gave me fucking really good feedback. Call it knowledge
because I'm not an expert.
What the fuck?
I'm still learning.
Kurt's the only one that I know who was a
I'll
judge.
decide.
He's the only one that was a judge that came back out after, and told me that he was a judge.
Right.
Nobody else. I don't know who the rest of the judges were.
Right.
But he actually came up and he goes, I can give you some, he goes, do you mind if I give you some feedback? I was like, no, absolutely. He goes, I can easily give you feedback because I totally know your chili over everybody else's chili.
Oh yeah.
And so he gave me some feedback, which was awesome. And I totally have like a little addition to my recipe that I'm going to try next time.
Well, there's the barbecue competitions you do. So it's all blind. It's 100% blind tasting, 100%. So I actually did the KCBS judge class to kind of see how the judges are.
What they're looking
That's
for.
probably the smart way to do it, especially. Well,
you'd think you don't fucking learn anything because it is complete. I mean, it is completely blind, biased. I mean, they teach you kind of what to
everybody has their own
think
palate.
about, but I mean, it is what it is, and so. But you do get little comment cards maybe on advice, and it's completely anonymous. Like you don't know who your judges were. So like you turn in your box, it has 007 on it, but then when you turn it in, that 007 turns to 0033 that goes back to the table. So like even then, like they change so it's completely anonymous. Like, you have no idea who.
But you actually get feedback from the judges?
Sometimes, yeah. And but it is very kind of minimal, like bland, or I mean, it's kind of they try to instruct just simple, not a whole paragraph of what you want to see. So I mean, it is kind of it is subjective, but it is kind of cool though to see like a little bit. Sometimes you're like, oh, you're just stupid, or no, that makes sense, but to actually hear something from the person tasting it is
I can see how that would make
it's
a
pretty
big
cool.
difference.
I mean, you don't know you don't know who. I mean, you don't know who it is, but it is one of those things that you can kind of see what they were looking at and how. So,
no, I dig that. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm part of setting it up this next time. I'll totally call you to be a judge.
I need plenty of notice. I'm very busy.
Plenty, he says.
I didn't give you very much notice for this.
Kinda. I just happen to be off on Fridays right now. my schedule's changing. We're getting season's changing, so my schedule's going to change.
Sundress weather.
That's why I was like, yep, let's do the first one.
Nice.
So you are out there food and beverage managing at the Bar Run.
Yep.
That place is badass.
It's very cool.
And
I've heard nothing but good things.
Ever evolving.
We're still building.
Still building.
Full 18 holes. 62 RV spots and 6 cottages.
Definitely quote him on that.
And one and
Don't
more.
quote me on that.
Yeah.
And more coming.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of plans for expansion out there.
Yeah. We have the Lazy River hot tub.
That's just cool as fuck for Roseburg, Oregon, to have.
Dude, I've been telling people because this last summer, Sarah's aunt and uncle were out there, And so we went and met them to go, because Sarah's obsessed with lazy rivers since she went to some place in California with her friend anyways. So we went out there, and they're freaking floating around in the lazy river. By the way, if you want to smoke a cigar by the freaking pool,
You can't do it. It's illegal, Carlo.
Yeah, it's a public place, man.
It's
You
bullshit.
You got to walk
people.
past the front.
People in public like cigars.
You need to get you a golf cart, and then you can smoke a cigar.
I know. I could just
You,
drive up
you
there.
can bring that up with your lawmakers.
They need a smoking section. But anyways, so the place is badass though. It was cool. We got out there. There wasn't very many people out. I think we got there at like dinner time, so a lot of people went back to their camps or whatever. But it was neat, and it was cool. And the place isn't even all the way opened up. I mean, they're still building the.
They're still building.
Yeah, I mean,
What'd you say the event?
So we're
there's like a 2-story thing right there by the lazy river.
the nest, there'll be the bar we're working on.
Yeah.
The outpost will be the kitchen by the pool that we're working on.
They didn't even have the hot tubs opened yet when I was there.
So those will be open. Yeah, I mean,
and it all looks amazing. I love it.
I mean, like I said, the golf course has been open 3 years. The RV park's been open 2.
Just a brilliant idea for this area.
The pool will be full operation this summer.
But I've been telling people since I went out there, local people, if you want to check it out, you better do it now. Because that place, I guarantee, is going to be booked up for 2 years.
So,
I mean,
the whole idea, the whole thing, there's a couple different rumor stories that you hear about. And it's more of out of spite because somebody said, you can't do this. And somebody said, yeah, I can watch.
I mean, that happens at everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I haven't heard that on my side of things, but
sure.
I mean, I know if I'm told I can't do it, I'm probably going to do it.
Right.
But no, it's, I mean, it's, it's all reclaimed quarry land, which is really cool.
Yeah. Where that's at.
I mean, it's just,
so I grew up, one of my best friends used to live down the road.
It's just fucking wild, man. You don't even feel like you're in Roseburg.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
And actually last year it was, so we had, there was some guests that were there and I was talking to them and they were headed to Montana and there was all those fires. So the road was shut down. So they came back. They lived less than 5 miles away, but they had planned to go on this vacation. So they like, well, let's stop in, so they hooked up their RV and hung out there at Bar Run for a few days, and it was cool because they live less than 5 miles away.
Yeah.
But they're like, we had plans to go, and so they come and hung out and checked out, hung out the Lazy River and I mean,
what I think is neat is like you said, it's all reclaimed off of quarry and stuff. I'm old as dirt. I've been here forever. That was a fucking rock pit.
Yeah.
That was nothing but fucking gravel.
And we just
cool as hell to know.
Yeah, we just played some of the top golf courses around in Oregon.
That's phenomenal.
When I was in high school, my best friend lived right down the street.
Yeah,
and
it was
we used to go down there and fucking
rocks and motorcycles.
Yeah, we used to go down there and do freaking cookies.
Yep.
I don't know how many times we got freaking vehicles stuck in that freaking.
I wouldn't recommend doing cookies now.
No. Well, there's not even really any place to do them anymore.
No,
it's so nice and everything down there. Yeah, I mean that place was. It was kind of a waste. It was so much property that was just not being used at all.
Well, it was used.
Well,
it was used. It was being used.
Definitely, but for commercial use.
Right, but I mean that commercial use. I mean all that dirt and rock is what builds the roads.
Well, I know, but there was so much area that there was
turned into more commercial.
Right,
yeah.
Well, and it was flat.
Yeah, they fill it back.
They just had old equipment sitting.
Yeah, they you got to fill. I'm not. Again, I'm no expert on like the mining field industry, but I know. I know if you dig a hole, you kind of fill it back in, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you get that point where it's...
But I think it's awesome.
What am I going to do with this land now?
Out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got an idea. Let's make a resort and charge people to come here. Oh, that'll never work. Look at fucking bam.
Yeah,
I know. I mean, it's...
Yeah, one
I
of my
love it.
customers has done they actually did all the electrical and concrete. They were doing all the concrete out there. So, I mean, that's pretty neat. I've been watching it kind of develop.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
So what's it like being there, basically telling them how you would like things to be set up? And I mean, basically they're just like building you your dream kitchen.
Well,
to some
we
extent.
meet them halfway, of course.
Yes,
you know, I
yeah.
mean, it's easy
Give
to
and
spend someone
take.
else's money, but
Obviously, yes.
it's easy to spend someone else's money. So, definitely, I look at it going in what we actually need versus what I want. Totally different.
Well, and I'm sure you have to put into account what they want to do with it versus what you would want to
Right.
do.
And, we meet halfway. We definitely talk about what they envision. And,
they're trying to turn it into more than just a resort. They want it to be a venue. And
So, yeah. They've actually, one of the first weddings I had out there, I actually did the grazing table for before I even really knew what was going on out there years ago.
Right.
And then, I've done a couple little things out there. And then a couple big things out there, before I actually worked out there, on my, my
On your
own
catering business.
on the private chef side of things.
Yep.
you should tell them
Private chef.
if they had a section, it doesn't have to be by the water. If they had a section where you can have drinks, smoke a cigar,
Cigars.
have a freaking charcuterie board, grazing table thing, dude, that would be badass.
I'll check into the cigars for you.
And I'm telling you,
Well,
that's the clientele they're looking for.
so we do have, we have 2 cabanas. We're getting 2 more put in.
Okay.
So if you're staying out there, you'll have the opportunity to rent those out and everything. So have your own space and everything for the day.
That would be a cigar spot. Cigar friendly spot.
Maybe.
It might be.
I can't promise anything,
Turn
but
into something.
I'm just saying.
Just
you're only there if you can have a cigar. Got it. I got you.
I'm getting ready to get ventilation installed in this office.
so
that
you
I can have a cigar while we're doing this.
yeah.
We could be smoking a cigar right now, Martin.
Just put a kitchen exhausted in here, and
No, I'm gonna have badass. I don't want it.
like
Mike's
14
Mike's my co-host. I gotta make sure he can't breathe it.
Yeah.
like
I
14,
have to
1500
breathe,
CFM
fucker.
exhaust system right
Everybody
above
listens
you.
to Mike cough the whole time we're freaking doing this already.
I don't want to sit
They're
in
gonna
here
be
with
like,
a mask
Carlos
on.
is smoking a cigar trying to kill his best friend.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You have a kitchen hood that's 2500 CFM.
They'll suck anything
It's
out
gotta
of
be
you.
quiet as shit, dude.
As long as it sucks, it don't matter.
That's what
So
I've been saying for years.
I know. It doesn't
He didn't follow
doesn't
that
pan
rule.
out.
No, doesn't work
It
out.
doesn't pan out.
No.
No.
But yeah, no, I mean it's pretty wild out there, and it's for events. We branching into doing events out there, weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, things like that,
And you said
fundraisers.
that the bar and the little event space above it
So
should be done pretty soon.
yeah, and then the second story bar, that'll be kind of an event space as well that you can rent out. For smaller groups,
Yeah.
and then we have our event tent
Is
that we're
kind of what Sutherland, the way theirs is laid out. They have the upstairs bar and event center.
I have been to Sutherland.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've been to a.
I don't remember who I was talking to though. Somebody else that's involved out there was telling me about that. Because they were whoever it was I was talking to was super excited about that bar and then the upstairs event space.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be, which judging from what I could see from outside, it looked like it'd be perfect for like birthday parties and small parties. And that kind of stuff. It's got a porch balcony thing that overlooks the lazy river.
And so it'll be a set up as a bar, kind of the 21 and older, which is nice. I mean, you definitely have this clientele that are out there without children, so you can you can escape a little bit
For the getaway.
without completely being distant from everything. Even if you have kids there, you can, and then we'll have the outpost, which will have the walk-up window with, full kitchen and everything and drinks and all that. Kind of that poolside service.
That's the part that's over there by where the bathroom shower things are. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So, but then the nest, we can, we're looking at being able to have event space, a group of 40,
So is there going to be an actual
total
restaurant there somewhere?
So eventually, yes. So, they'll have a clubhouse out there where the golf tent is. So
hopefully sooner than later.
So that'll be the clubhouse. We'll have, bar, restaurant there. And so right now the snack shack is where the food comes out of, and it's kind of the halfway point, which is called a turn on the golf course. So you get done with, hole 9, and then you go to hole, 10, you go to the back 9. And so we're on the turn. So you stop there. That's that midway point, get drinks, snack, burger, hot dog, whatever. And then you kind of keep going. So, with the outpost and everything opening by the pool, we'll be able to focus the food over to there and then the food at the turn separate, in order, so the golfers, they're working. They're not in a hurry, but they're going. They don't want to. They're not stopping halfway through and having a steak dinner. And
most of the golfers I know want to do something usually after they're done.
Right. I mean, that halfway point is where you stop and get your snacks, something kind of quick to eat, and then you keep going.
Refreshments.
Yeah. So with the clubhouse, so afterwards they can come in, get something more substantial, or meet up their wife or whoever,
girlfriends, old ladies.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean,
babysitters.
We are a public course, so everyone always thinks we're private.
But I think it's cool, and listening to you talk about it, like when we were at lunch and stuff. It's cool. It sounds like you're proud to be part of it.
So, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Which is pretty badass. I mean, it's not always that you can find a place to work where you can also be proud of it and feel like you're a part of making it what it is.
That's the neat thing to me is Douglas County right here in depressed Roseburg, I just think it's cool as hell. The opportunities that are coming up.
Well, that's the thing is, they're there.
Yeah.
People are ready to do them. You just got to convince them that it's okay to do it.
I'll tell you what, though, that whole bar run idea, it's brilliant, but it definitely was a big leap of faith.
Yeah. For this area?
Especially when they started, when they decided to do it and start it.
This area.
And that was like, okay, we're just going to take a freaking gamble now.
Isn't that everything you do in life? Every business is a gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everybody gets to go in that hard.
Right. Only certain special people.
You got to risk it to get the biscuit, right?
Yeah, that's good right there.
I wish I was able to go in as hard as that.
You just want a biscuit, dude.
You just got to be able to just fucking suck it up and say
go.
Well, you got to be able to do it. You got to have the capital or the backing to do it,
or even just the fucking imagination.
Yeah.
That alone.
That is one of the
imagination. The imagination is way harder than capital.
That and they really did a lot of that out there. That's cool. The whole design, how they use old equipment and stuff out there on the course is freaking cool as hell. Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah, no, it's definitely gonna. It's gonna be one of a kind for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's kind of funny that not just there, but like Oregon overall has anyone that's into golf there's some pretty badass golf places around.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be a diehard because,
Band in Oregon.
It could be June and it start raining.
Of all places.
Yeah, I was looking at a magazine and Bandon has 3 of the top 20 freaking
in the U.S.
courses. Bandon. I was like, holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
The short courses, the par 3.
Well, yeah,
par 3 courses.
But it's amazing that Oregon, like you say, here we are.
Yeah.
I growing up, I just thought, Oregon's whatever. And that we were kind of like a spot that nobody knew about. But I mean, since I've been growing up, now we're like world renowned for wine. We're world renowned for microbrews. We're world renowned for golf.
That's the weird thing, though, is if you live here, that's what you think Roseburg is.
Yeah.
If you're not from Roseburg, you know all those things.
Right.
Like, you know that we have, 20, 30 wineries. And
World class.
Yeah. And we just take them all for granted.
Yeah. It's like,
oh, you mean that old spot out in Melrose?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like their shit. It sucks.
yeah, it's like,
What?
I could walk out of my house and walk to, Charlotte Tasting Room.
Yeah.
And they're,
Well, just
world class wines, and I can just
Abacilla out by my mom's.
Yeah.
That was all just dirt and fucking trees.
It's in your
My whole
backyard,
growing up.
and like you don't even think about it. I mean, how many breweries do we have now?
Holy
That's
shit!
Six or seven. We had 8, a couple lots of one or
Right.
two, or what? I mean, it's like, and they're still going strong.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Always something new.
From the time we were kids till now, it's just crazy how much that stuff is blown up. So,
Yeah,
I like it.
There's nothing between Eugene and Medford but us.
Yeah, just a
Denny's.
there's
didn't
that.
even have a travel center.
That's that adult store there at Metz Hill.
That's up there though. We have one here, I think. Still, I don't know. I've heard
Oh shit!
a 99.
So,
by Sun's
what are some of the stuff that you'd like to see happen out there, man? Whether it's a plan or not. I mean, things that you would really like to see.
I just want things to happen.
Yeah.
Nothing
Nothing happens as fast as you want it to, for sure.
No, I mean, it's just all sorts of just fun stuff. I mean,
and it gives you the opportunity to use some of your skills and stuff out there.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
So and we've been working with a guy a little bit doing cornhole tournaments out there.
Yeah.
So we've had one. We're going to do another one in March, and so kind of based off. So they're the Scoreholio app.
I don't know.
So it's a cornhole app, and so people can actually post tournaments. But people can actually host tournaments of their own, and
that's a young man's sport.
And so people have this app; they can search where they're at and see if there's anything nearby.
That's cool.
I was totally against that sport, but I have to admit,
it's
after playing it a few
millennial
times, I kind of like it.
Horseshoes,
and for whatever reason,
horseshoes are heavy.
I find myself watching it on TV.
I know.
Even though it's so stupid.
Well, just like the whole frisbee golf thing,
I'm never embracing that.
No, it's so bigger than what you would think.
I just can't walk the 19 miles they do. Dude, I can't do it.
That's for people with legs.
Yeah.
But it's funny because a lot of times it's not. But no, I mean, out there, I mean, we kind of embrace all the ideas out there. Yeah. It's not a stupid idea, I mean.
Well, honestly, I mean, most of the ones that you think are stupid are probably the ones that are going to make money.
But if money making idea that's on the table, let's talk about it. Let's do it.
So
do they
figure it out?
Do they encourage everybody kind of working together for ideas out there?
Yeah, actually, this is one of the. I haven't met a disgruntled employee out there.
That's cool.
Everyone's excited to show up. Everyone's excited. It's
different.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I've you have the occasional hum stuff, but it's like you just have a quick chat and it goes away. There's nothing.
I probably know one of those people. But yeah,
we can edit out.
She's not there anymore.
Oh,
gone, done, gone.
We could edit it out.
I'm not throwing it out there. I'll tell you after.
All right. But no, it's it's. I think it's just one. It's because it's new and different and exciting, and it's not always the same.
But I mean, so I get that.
So, but it's.
But also, I'm saying
there's not that mundane.
Do they encourage all the employees to, if you've got an idea, come bring it to us.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I do.
That's cool.
It's, and if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. And if it's a bad idea, I'll tell you why. Yeah. Because I
think that's the positive way to be productive.
I've done stupid shit. I've done stupid ideas. Like, I know some things work and some things don't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just experience, experience.
That's lived experience.
But
right?
I'm not going to tell anyone it's a stupid idea. I might explain why.
Sure.
Why it won't work, or
We're like,
why you can't do it.
or just, I get a lot of the, Roseburg doesn't want this.
Roseburg doesn't want this.
Your cigars?
Yeah.
No, it's not a stupid idea.
Never.
Right.
We
It's
just gotta-
fucking brilliant.
we just
I'm
gotta-
telling you
It's
right now.
fucking
We just
brilliant,
gotta figure out the legislation on how to do it. That's all it is.
Need a fucking shooting range
just
and
a
a golf
posted-
range at the same
posted area.
time.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Anyway.
Yeah. Actually, Keith, one of my...
I took my golf ball launcher out there.
Keith, one of my customers, he's friends with those guys out there.
Kenny?
Huh?
You say Kenny?
Keith.
Oh.
Keith. Anyways, he's talking to them, and he was hoping to do it this year, but I think we waited too long now. He wants to put together a like a 2-day thing, like a 3-person scramble.
Almost not like an Iron Man.
One day it'll be
event.
golf, and the next day it'll be long range shooting. And he already found some property for the long range shooting.
And maybe shotgun.
But the golf was going to be out there at Bar Run.
Yeah. And then maybe trap shooting at Roseburg Rod and Gun Club.
I mean, we were talking about some different things, and he wanted me to be part of it.
Right.
And so it was something we were talking about, but that we kind of never really started planning. So I think we're too late now, but might be something for the future that we're going to put together.
Maybe next year.
It'd be fun, dude.
I mean, it might be something we can do near the end of this season. You still got,
Yeah, I don't know.
3-4 months of
I taught
advertising
him
to
to
get out
put
there,
it
but
together. I told him I'd help him out, but I'm not planning.
you're not helping. I got you.
Yeah, I'll help sponsor or whatever, but I'm not being part of the planning portion of it.
Right.
I know certain people that I know try to do little events like that, the Iron Man thing, and I think they pretty much got kicked off of every golf course here in Roseburg.
Well, this was not going to be. This was going to be. One day was going to be straight up like a 3-man scramble golf.
Sure.
Right.
And then the next day was going to be
Different
3-man
location. Different
scramble,
location.
long range on a different location.
So they're not trying to do the Iron Man at
We're
all.
not trying.
One spot.
We're not trying to mess up the golf course or mess with anyone's day.
No.
Right.
But we're just trying to put two things
Fucking
together
rednecks.
Something
to make
fun,
it difficult,
different.
because
And
Damn
you're
rednecks.
not going to find 3
Gotta
guys
ruin everything.
that are good at golf and also good at long range shooting. So,
Right.
So
you better
gotta combine
better
your
team
to
up
be
with
able to
somebody.
freaking win. So that was
that's
our
good on
idea
something.
behind it, and that's what we were going to do. So, but yeah,
I mean,
We had
all-
talked
like,
about it.
all those, everything like that's encouraged, man. Like, just do it. Want to do it. Fucking talk about it, and fucking let's do it. Let's get it going.
I think that's neat. I think it's cool.
And people are so scared to fucking try something different.
Well, I know.
It's not even different. It's just
I'm older than dirt. I know.
it's the same shit.
I've seen
it's
it.
the same. It's the same shit to do with your friends. You're just trying to do it with 40
Absolutely
other people.
seen it. Every time somebody tries to start something up here in Roseburg in this area, it just seems like, you get the 100% backing and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, we don't want that. Like the paintball shit for the younger people.
Dude, I
Stuff
just
like
had
that,
somebody
and-
asking me about
Yeah,
how come
it
there's
was
not,
all
like,
go
paintball,
good.
laser tagging.
It was
over.
all go
like,
good
there's
at
been-
first, and then it was like, oh no,
Yeah.
Roseburg.
I tell them, I said, over the years,
Like you say,
Roseburg
doesn't want that.
Like,
I'm like,
yeah.
over the years, there's probably been a dozen of them. Nothing lasts. Yeah.
so like Roseburg doesn't want it.
Even fighting with them to get the stupid skateboard park, oh, Roseburg doesn't want that. And Winston.
I bet they wish they could take that skateboard park away.
Exactly.
Just because it's so many
Yeah.
freaking homeless people and nastiness.
I think
Mismanaged.
I think one of the hardest part is
Totally.
either mismanaged or
100%.
it's like you think like the new ideas would come through, the city would give someone like a grace period.
Yeah. Give it a try and see what
Like,
happens.
hey, 6 months free. Let's fucking
Perfect
do it.
example was the fucking ban they did on the guy that was doing the shaved ice shit.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is that hurting?
Yeah, they gave him permission to
Yeah.
go to the park, and then all of a sudden they
What is
realized,
that hurting?
Oh, fuck,
No, you can't be here.
yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Dude, I'll tell you what. I can fix all of it. If they just let me make the rules, I
Who's
can
that?
totally fix it. Hold on, I gotta pause for 1 second. All right, we're back. Sorry, I had to pause for 2 seconds.
Do it.
I knew that
Something.
people were gonna walk through and fucking talk and make noise, and
That's terrible.
I just didn't want to have to edit.
How dare people talk?
Terrible. Terrible.
So, change of subject.
Do it.
Growing up, anyone that grew up here for any length of time,
Since 98.
yeah, knows who your sister is. So, tell us a little bit about that, your whole history with that.
So I was 10.
That you want to share. I mean,
Well, I mean, it's all in. You can Google it.
Well, that doesn't mean anything, dude. I Google a lot of shit that's not right.
So 98. My sister was kidnapped and murdered. So she was 14. I was 10. She was babysitting my cousins out of Tri-City area. Around Halloween. I mean, that's what I grew up with. I mean, it's odd because I don't look at it any different than anyone else's problems.
no.
I mean, there's 100% of pain. There can be no more, no less. There's no panel of judges. So it's, everyone has something they're dealing with, and it's no bigger or no smaller than what I've dealt with, what anyone's dealt with.
That's pretty cool that you look at it like that.
I mean, you stub your toe, I stub my toe. I might not feel it, you might, but 100% of pain is 100% of pain.
Yeah.
No more, no less. You can't have more than 100%.
What's
I mean, I've already had the worst 2 days of my life.
yes.
So,
yes.
I mean, with my dad committing suicide and my sister getting murdered, I mean, every day is pretty fucking good after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
What's totally surreal to me, and I know we might have talked about this before or whatever. My wife, at this time, interjection with your mom, they opened the Office Max store here in Roseburg.
so we go way back.
I got to meet you when you were just 10 years old.
So you remember before they had speed bumps in that parking lot?
Yeah. And then all the stuff went down and everything, and it's just surreal in a way to me to see you as a little bitty kid.
I was never that short.
I was, obviously way younger at the time, and just the whole small community bullshit turn of events. And here you are, in a relationship with basically my sister, and you have a child with her now and all that. It's just, I don't know. I find it surreal and just cool as hell to be
I'm glad I
part
can
of
be
your
there for you.
experience.
I'm glad I can be there for you.
No, I know. And it's just weird.
Well, I mean, and that's it. I mean, the world's that small.
Yeah.
So it's freaking nuts to me. I mean, I just remember seeing your sister's face everywhere.
Yeah.
She was on billboards,
Yeah.
freaking flyers and everything for
Years.
for 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
She was there everywhere. What was that like for you being a kid growing up? That had to be
Obviously,
I mean, it had to.
life-changing. Obviously.
It probably was horrible when she first disappeared, and then
I mean, at that age, you don't really understand.
At that age,
you don't really
right,
understand
right.
what's going on. And I remember I was like 15, and I was talking to the counselor, and we were talking, and I was answering the questions that my own questions, and he described it to me as that I grew up way too fast, and I dealt with more as a kid than most adults, And so, you know, like if you look at your brain like a muscle, it adapts and it learns. And, you know, because there was things I was questioning and asking. I was asking questions that most adults would never ask or think about. Like at 15, I was like, well, if I have a kid, my kid doesn't have an aunt or an uncle anymore, and you know, an aunt anymore. You know, just stuff like that where it was described to me as like my muscle grew faster than it should have.
Sure.
So,
and which
you're 15 years old. So you had, in your mind, you had accepted the fact that she was never coming back.
No, I didn't accept it,
Okay.
but it was a possibility.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're human. We think about the worst of everything.
Yeah.
19 different ways every time, no matter what.
I get that.
Even when you get a flat tire. You think you think of 4 different ways you could have got a flat tire, except for the way you got a flat tire. You know what I mean? Like that's, and so, you know, growing up, it's, you know, I was protected, not protected, not shielded from things. But I also know, you know, later on in life, I realized like my parents still had another kid that they had to protect and raise, you know, and, you know, when I was like 19 or 20 or so, just talking to my dad, and they were like, hey, we've never gone to Hawaii. You know, my uncle lived there and had a scuba shop. We never went. And my dad's like, well, how could we go and get the phone call that your sister's alive? So now we're in Hawaii on vacation, and they just find, you know, like how it makes sense to me.
Always that chance.
You know what I mean? Like growing up, it's like, it was like, I felt like sometimes we didn't do things
almost holding you down,
but at the same time, it wasn't holding me back. It was waiting for my sister to be home.
Sure.
And it was one of those, like, you don't understand that when you're a kid. You don't fucking know.
Well, no, especially at that age.
You don't fucking know.
The most,
dude, even 18 years old, you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
19, you don't fucking know. You don't know.
That's part of,
you know, but it's, you know, it's, you get that, like, you know, we didn't leave, you know, my dad bought property in Tiller, and we were there a lot, but you know who knew where we were? County knew where we were.
Mm-hmm.
They all knew. If we weren't home, they would drive up there.
they knew they could find you there
100%.
if there was any.
100%.
Yeah.
So you think you were, you think you missed out on stuff because of that?
Well, 100%.
Yeah.
But everyone will miss out on things they think they need to have.
Yeah.
You don't know what you need when you're that age.
Did you have, I know there's like, that was like a freaking national news. I mean, it's been on shows.
It was on Montel if you can find it.
I
but
mean, it's been on a million different things.
Since Sylvia Brown.
There was a million different theories.
Since Sylvia Brown died and all of her shit got pulled off. I don't know if you can find the episode, but my mom was on there. And I do have to say, I will say I've not talked to my mom about me doing this. And I do want to let her know, just because I don't want to be a hypocrite, because I am pissed that there's at least 3 podcasts about my sister, one of which being in Roseburg, that hasn't contacted the family.
Oh, they just made a podcast off shit they found on the internet?
Right.
That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. So I do want to say that I do need to tell my mom. Just, I don't want to be that fucking dude. But I mean, it's everywhere, but dead people don't have rights.
That's your life, though.
Well, I don't.
That's the
I
whole
didn't
thing.
want to make the podcast about your sister.
No, 100%.
But,
I understand that. But
it's something that I grew up with.
It's part of my life. I grew up with it too.
100%.
And I mean, it's just when I first met you, and we haven't been friends for very long. I mean, we've known each other for a little while. But I didn't even know that was your sister at first.
You knew me as Chef Martin.
Yeah. And
hence my, cooking kind of gave me that identity. I
Yeah.
wasn't Stephanie's younger
Yeah.
brother
Well, and that's
anymore.
awesome. That's how it should be.
It got you the escape. Or
So I don't want the podcast to be all about that.
No, 100%.
But that's part of who made you who you are.
There's-
And I grew up around it, so it's just kind of fascinating to me. And I just kind of want to know what that did to shape you into who you are, and how that was having to deal with that growing up. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I think it gave me a lot of understanding with people.
Yeah, I see that.
Just because you look, you like kind of the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
You don't know what anyone's dealing with.
Well, just like I mentioned it a couple times jokingly, whatever. I'm a lot older and everything, and you are way more fucking based on shit in life than I am. Just in knowing you for the years that I have.
Like,
Yeah, you do seem pretty level-headed.
Like-
Yeah, and
like
I think that has a lot to do with it.
like I
And
bought my house ironically.
Yeah. You want to throw that in there? Yeah.
But I don't know what you're judging based on age.
No,
and,
it-
being,
No, it's just like I guess I'm more judgmental, cut it and dry, and motherfucker, this is the way it is, and
Well, I mean that's
you have a more, I guess, nuance.
I mean, I give everyone has my trust until they don't.
Right.
Like you don't
Right.
you don't get it back.
That's what I'm.
You don't
yeah,
have to
yeah,
earn
yeah.
it, but you lose it. You lose it.
And I'm more cut and dry as like
Which is
judgmental, I guess.
Which is way easier than have to earn it.
Sure.
Because I don't have to fucking think about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to judge and think and expect.
Right. I like it.
It's just easier.
I wish I could.
So it is.
I wish I could rewire my head.
Dude,
You can.
And
I make my
can.
decisions off of about
bam,
30 seconds into a relationship.
bam, there it
And
is.
that's
like-
who you are for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Everyone's got bad days.
Spitting fucking
If I
image,
meet you on a bad
whatever.
day, that's who you are for the rest of your life.
I'm a total
Granted, I've
asshole,
already had
and
my
yes,
2
that's
bad
me.
days, so you're good.
So,
But that's. I mean, it's
inspirational, I guess, in a way, to me.
I mean, it's no different. I mean, everyone has the same pain.
Yeah,
100% is 100%. No more, no less.
I love it, Martin. I
Like plain and simple.
That is a good way to look at it.
Like
and
I don't do math very often, but
and weird,
I know you can't have more than 100%.
weird fucking aspects or whatever with me raising my boys and all that shit, and then you coming into our lives. It just gives a total different perspective because of the bullshit, one-sided vision that I have towards raising kids, and then to have you and Jamie come in, and it helps me because I don't have to be. I don't have to be, but it just gives me the more I can look at my kids and say, look at their perspective on stuff. Don't just look at mine.
Right.
Here's somebody else.
They're people too.
Right.
Like
I unfortunately, cut and dry. That's straight it right there.
They have thoughts and feelings of their
Yeah.
own.
And
I mean, we're also raised in that era where we don't really talk about it.
Sure.
On, the
Yes.
guys, the men's side of things.
I feel it 100% right
And,
there.
I mean, I've reached out on fucking rants and raves and the scanner page and
Oh, I know.
the anonymous posts that people want to end it. And I'm like, here's my cell phone number. I don't get paid for it. Call me. I've been there.
I will give you my perspective.
Like, just
Take what you will from it.
Yeah, I saw some of your older stuff on when I was looking for stuff to make sure I had information.
creeper.
I saw that you did a lot of stuff.
He is.
But I'm like, there's just random people. I'm like, I don't just call me.
No shit.
And
then,
I was in New York when my dad committed suicide. I got the phone call from my uncle. My dad committed suicide, and I was on the next plane.
You're like, what the fuck?
Threw all my shit on the sidewalk. Got on the plane. Got here. Came down. trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yep.
Still,
Of course.
No, nothing. Whatever.
Everything about that is all speculation. Or you have your... Yeah, gotcha.
Yep.
And then, but it was one of those things, you know, and has some kind of family friends, you know, I mean, they don't clean up the mess.
No,
on the state level.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I cut the carpet and subfloor out that had my dad's blood on it, everything out of the bedroom, and
that goes onto your fucking,
you know, but it was one of those, I didn't look at it as an issue. It was something that I needed to do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
In a weird, fucked up world, like a rite of passage.
That's not weird. That is what a guy is.
But in a weird, fucked up rite of passage.
Theoretically, that's what a guy is supposed to do, is take care of business.
Right.
And,
but it, you know, and I've never hit it. I've talked about it. I've told people.
Like, I get that though.
You know, I get it. You know, I had one of my really good friends. Hung out with him for like 12 hours one day.
Yeah.
Get a phone call. Shot himself.
That's fucked.
You know, so we go over there and, you know, try to figure out what's going on and this and that and the other. And it was, you know, the whole time, you know, and it's, you know, the next couple days everyone's talking, and it's like all these little things were, as you add it up, yes, he was going to do it.
You're like, yeah, that.
But it's
that red flag.
All these little red flags. Separate.
Unfortunately,
because you don't know. No one knows everything every day.
No.
So when you look back over the week, and you're like, oh yeah, no, 100%.
We all would have got together,
like,
right?
Yeah, damn it, I should have known.
And but that's the thing is, you know, we're so suppressed to hold those fucking
pretty much,
those feelings down and emotions down, because we're going to be judged about it. Everyone fucking feels it. I don't give a shit who you are.
Yeah.
Granted, I've never thought about it after my dad. You know what I mean? Like, never really thought about it before, but I definitely have a thought if I don't give a fuck before.
But who's to say later in life that that's not going to come right back in your face, you know?
Right.
And
but it's like after that, it's like I would, you know, I would never want to put that on anyone.
No.
Friend, family, or foe.
Not at all.
No, that's... And you don't want people blaming themselves either. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Because you don't have the whole picture. You just have your...
Exactly.
Your little snapshot that you get.
Everyone's their own person.
So, yeah, you might have got one little red flag, but you friggin' stopped.
But now you got 12
Yeah.
from 12 different people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The more you think about it.
When you add everybody together, it makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
When you just look at your own little picture, there's no way you could have known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but it's just...
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. You've dealt with some stuff.
No more than you have.
I know.
No, but it is
different stuff, though. Yeah.
I mean, different, but no more.
But I get it. So
100%.
like
100%.
when I lost my little brother, my dad asked me, you know, because my dad was a train wreck, dude. He was falling apart, and he was asking me how I was keeping it together so well, and
how are you capable? Yeah.
And I told him, I said, honestly, I turn everything into work. So, I mean, for me, when I'm dealing with something, I break it down into little pieces that this is what I need to do to take care of this. This is what I need to do to take care of that. And that's how I deal with things. I basically just eliminate all emotion out of it. And it's probably not the healthiest way to deal with things. That's
I definitely eliminate a lot of emotion.
Yeah. Almost.
But it's also one of those, I'm like...
It almost turns into a necessity, though, to do it that way.
I mean, no, it's survival.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, living a life of survival versus living a life of living.
I take the parts that are hard for me out. This way I don't have to mess with them. So,
But again though. That's why I say I've already lived the 2 hardest days of my lives.
Yes, sir.
So everything else is pretty fucking easy.
That's
Everything else is pretty fucking easy.
pretty admirable to look at it that way.
It's
yeah,
pretty
100%.
no, I dig the way
Waking
that
up,
you
dog
look
shit
at
on the
everything.
floor, that's pretty fucking easy.
Mm.
Okay. Waking up,
Yeah,
fucking
let's
laundry,
deal with it.
washer broke, it's leaking.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, whatever.
All right.
Just deal with it.
Right.
Radiator, fucking deal. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
That's nothing. That's nothing.
You're right, though. Everybody does have stuff. When I do my research into all my guests, usually I'll find stuff that I'm like, I don't know if they're going to be okay with me talking about that. And that's part of why we go to lunch beforehand, so I can make sure that it's cool that we talk about stuff. And whatever people don't want to talk about, I don't talk about.
So what did you find?
Dude, we've talked about most of the stuff I found.
What did you find that you haven't brought up yet?
I don't think I got anything left on here, dude.
No.
Remote viewing's not on there?
Huh?
Remote viewing's not on there?
Remote viewing.
Remote viewing?
Martinis and Murders isn't on there?
No. I don't have that stuff. I missed that stuff. Did you work at Catch 22 for a while?
No, my buddy owned that.
Oh, gotcha.
I
I just saw that you posted about that a lot.
I thought you did some barbecue stuff for them.
No, a buddy of mine.
They're fish. They're not barbecue.
A buddy of mine, he owned it and stuff. So I helped out there when I could and
Martin,
stuff.
or what was his name?
Nate.
I don't know. I'm out there.
I don't know. No, I didn't. There's nothing. No, I'm not blindsided with nothing, dude. I found it. The only thing that I was worried about whether we could bring up was the stuff about your sister and your dad, and I talked to you about that beforehand. Yeah. So
no, there's all sorts of. So Martinis and Murders is a pretty fucking disrespectful podcast. You can look that one up.
Martinis.
Pretty disrespectful, or did they try and
Martinis and margaritas?
No, they just go off and talk about MK Ultra and my dad and everything, and
fuck them.
And they're drinking and fucking.
So you're
and so they're actually they're on the Oxygen network and associated with Andy Andy Cohen off Bravo and all that and.
Fuck them.
Are those the ones that did like a podcast about that and fucking didn't even ever check anything with the family?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit.
I'll fuck them in their neck.
No,
there's another. There's one. What's the one in town? There's one in town. Goddamn.
For the most part, I mean, so far for the most part, everybody I've had on is pretty local, and I'm local, so I'm sure the hell not trying to piss anybody off.
No,
I make sure that my guests are comfortable.
It's more a respectful thing than anything.
I talk about stuff that
who's saying a fucking
to us,
political got ya fucking bullshit.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to do that.
No,
and maybe some people are trying to get ratings and shit from that.
Well, they can suck a dick.
I'm not like that.
Oh wait, did I say that? They can suck a big fucking dick.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, Mike and I aren't too worried about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we haven't had a single episode that we could get monetized if we were
going West True Crime. Was another one.
Fuck them people.
I did get some dates off of that.
Off that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a bunch of cunts.
I can't imagine doing a podcast without trying
fucking
to
researching it and fucking.
I mean, you can't do something just based off what you find on the internet.
Douchebags. That's straight up fucking douchebag shit.
There's so much wrong information on the internet. It's not
that's dead people don't have any rights.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but you'd think that you'd want to try and know the truth,
right? Or want to fucking speak. Straight up truth shit and not
it depends.
Speculation bullshit. Fuck
entertainment's entertainment. That
I'm pretty entertaining when I'm fucking angry.
You're something, all right.
So he's getting there.
Give me some whiskey. Give me some whiskey, motherfuckers.
So when the dude got acquitted, how did that affect you?
I wasn't even in your fucking life at the time, and I know how it affected me.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I mean,
were you kind of numb to everything by then? I mean,
yeah. And well, it was.
It is what it is.
So I was actually in Alaska when they started the trial. So everything kind of started when I was in school, and it took forever. And so I came back from Alaska, and I was going to move to New York. And so I came back, and I had 3 days in Riddle before I had to be on a plane to New York. And so I went to the courthouse, and the judge asked his attorneys if I could be in the room. That was fucking weird to me.
That's awful weird hearing that.
it was weird that they wanted you in the room.
No, it was weird the judge asked if it was okay for me to be in the room.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Because the trial started while I was gone. And because my dad never put the pressure of my sister's case on me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was like, hey, I have an opportunity to go to Alaska to carve 46,000 pounds of ice.
He said, go do it.
20 teams from around the
Get up there and do
entire
it.
fucking universe, the entire fucking globe.
That's fucking awesome.
He's supported me.
Yeah.
And then so,
so
I got back and it was like, this is going on. But so I show up and the judge is like, oh, I understand another member of the family's here. Asked the attorneys if it was okay if I was there. Weird to me.
Yeah, it is weird.
But then it's like, okay, I kind of feel shitty sometimes fucking not being there. But at the same times, I know that if I didn't do what was going on in my life,
right,
that my parents would feel fucking shitty.
Yeah,
because
almost like they would know
they continued their life for me.
Yeah, they didn't want to hold you back.
So I needed to kind of continue my life for them.
And I think that was 100% your dad right there.
Like I feel that to this day. Like,
that's cool.
Yes.
Like
100%.
Like I needed to make sure that I kept doing for them just like they kept doing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they realized that your sister's stuff wasn't you.
Well, but
you were your
in
own
a point.
But think about it, I think I look back and I'm like, all right, my sister was kidnapped, murdered, fucking left in the woods, fucking dead. Cool, right? That's what happened, right? If my parents just stopped
at that point, right?
There would have been another kid.
Yeah. What about
left in the woods?
What about Martin?
There would have been 3 more of us.
Yeah. 100%.
So it's like I not to do right by them, but to do right by myself.
That's cool.
Like I but there is days where I'm like, man, I really like
knowing your dad,
like
dude,
I wanted to be there, but I knew by
100% that sounds like him.
Felt like it was the better thing to do for everyone.
Yeah, because there was no pressure back on you.
But at the same time, it's like I couldn't fucking do anything.
No.
I couldn't say anything. I wasn't even called up there. Like,
right.
Yeah, there's a lot of times people don't realize, they want to be part of something, but you need to step back and realize that you're making absolutely no impact.
You're not the part of it.
You're just window
there.
dressing. Why would you be there? If you're missing out on something for your own life.
I was 10 years old when it happened, and I was staying at my buddy's house, or my buddy was staying at my house,
right,
that night. So he actually, my buddy actually woke me up that night. Heard my mom on the phone, and so get up that day, and everyone's like, oh, go to his house, and then I came back, and it's like family was home.
And you were saying that, like, for the first 5 years of that, you kind of just thought of yourself as her brother. That was who you were.
I was her brother until I wasn't.
Well, I know, but I mean that was who you were.
Well, I didn't realize
until you realized that you could have your own life.
Well, I didn't realize that until I was in my 20s.
Okay,
that I wasn't Stephanie Gunn's brother.
Way after the fact, yeah.
You know, I mean, it was, 14 years after she disappeared that I wasn't Stephanie Condon's brother.
Before you kind of had your own identity.
But I never looked at it as I was someone else. Because there's always a shadow.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people asked if I was going to name my daughter after my sister. Fuck no.
You're right. Why?
That's a big fucking shadow to cast.
God damn.
Like, I wouldn't do that.
God damn.
Like,
yeah,
like,
I get that.
Like they're I want them to grow up to be their own individual.
Was that tough though when you were young though? I mean, did you have was everybody asking you what was going on? And
constant questions.
Tiptoeing around you or what?
I get a lot of sorries.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
And then finally I was like,
all right.
Leave me alone.
No, I was like, why are you sorry? You didn't do it, did you?
Yeah.
Like,
I get that right there.
Like, I understand the sorries, but it was like, at that point, it was like every person was sorry. Like, well,
that's just like when somebody loses someone. And
right. I was like, but it was
sorry
like,
for your loss.
Like, oh, well, you're sorry. Did you do it?
What do you say?
No, I didn't do it. I'm like, well, then you don't have to be sorry.
At some point, you just want people to just treat you normal.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking of you. Here we go.
Yeah. And everyone thinks about it.
What
That's
next?
fine.
What next?
I don't want people to not think about it because that would be fucking weird.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well.
So do you think that all the tragedy in your past helped make you who you are?
Well, yeah, just like everyone else.
I think so. I think that has a lot to do with
I think you got a great attitude.
the way Martin is now.
For sure.
I mean, you don't learn if you always win.
That's fucking awesome right there.
If you always win, you don't learn anything.
That's true. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh. So, well, thanks for letting us talk about that a little bit.
Well, I'm
Get shit off your chest.
I'm always going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those things like you can Google it. You can Google my life. So it's like,
because I haven't, because I'm not, wrapped up in shit, but I did learn some shit today with you talking about the bullshit with the people that I guess decided to do what they did with their podcast and stuff like that. Right. I think that's fucked up.
Yeah. And I've reached out to all of them.
I never knew about that.
I've reached out to all of them.
Yeah. You're like,
fuck them.
Yeah. And one of them actually, one of them was on the IMBD, whatever, and I posted on there. And
I think that's bullshit.
One of the hosts even blocked me from all the social media and shit.
Well, good for them, them fucking cunts.
You know, it's like, but I again, dead people don't have rights. Like,
no, but
you
do.
It.
You do, by God.
But, it's just one of those things. It's like,
try and shut me up, motherfucker.
Just fucking reach out, man. Like,
communication. Communication.
I would never just.
I wouldn't think of it.
If I do talk about something I don't know facts about, I'm going to tell you.
I don't know the facts.
I don't know the facts. I'm just telling you what I read. So, but when it comes to my guests, I'm never going to bring up anything.
There's
unless they're okay with it, and then they're the ones telling the information.
Yeah, there's things I still don't know.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Of course. Just being so young and everything.
100%.
So much information, shit gets buried.
I'm sure you missed a million tons of it.
Shit gets buried. Not like pushed under the rug buried. It just gets buried. There's so much information coming in that it's, even now now I look up stuff and
douchebags.
Find reports from like remote viewing on my sister and everything that came from this, and all this shit that happened, but nothing came of it. And, but it's like, I understand rumors, leads, everything comes in. They have to follow every single one of them. Yeah. No matter how fucking stupid it sounds.
Well,
because the one time they don't is the one time that was true.
Yeah.
And in that case and everything, there is no,
but
how fucking stupid it sounds. There is,
it's just,
you have to, for your peace of mind or for the,
like I've been looking for the episode my mom was on Montel Williams.
Right.
Because Sylvia Brown.
I remember.
Sylvia Brown.
I remember a lot of that.
Psychic.
And Sylvia Brown.
All
I remember
this shit
a lot of
and
that.
fucking
Yeah.
turns out she was a fake. Who knew?
Well, yeah. Who knew?
That's
A psychic? That's a fake?
that surprised all of us. She didn't see that coming.
She just kept over and over.
And it's, that episodes, I can't find the episode online. So it's like where it's, she talks about where my sister was and this and that.
With the
and so
water.
it's like, surprise, surprise. That episode doesn't exist anymore because, but then at the same time, it's like, all right, well, there was, not that it's monetary or anything, but, there was a lawsuit probably involved with someone. It's like, but no one reached out to anyone that, hey, this is going on. There's some false information. We need to clear this up. Not even, hey, we want to pay you to shut up, but it's like, hey, we need to clear this up.
Yeah,
like, how do we fix it? How do we get the proper information out there because we didn't do it right the first time?
Yeah.
That's all it is. Everyone's like, it doesn't fucking care. Who cares about the fucking, everyone's always worried about the money. Monetizing this. I'm like,
is there any,
just
with the whole aspect of, there's no I guess I would say animosity with the fucking investigation through Douglas County and through the state.
I mean, I don't know I don't know what they did or did not do right or wrong.
Right.
I don't fucking know.
Sure.
I mean, now if something happens, like
looking back,
I don't fucking know.
Right.
But you got to think that was the first time that's happened to those guys as well.
Well,
yeah.
Yes and no, but
that's the first time that's happened to those guys as well.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That they have physically dealt with. Yeah.
Think about that. They were in the same exact situation that my family was in. How the fuck would you deal with it?
Dude, I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
How would you deal with it?
I would like to think I would deal with it different. But
if you had no knowledge of how to deal with it.
There you go, right there. And
you have no knowledge. It's the first time. You lost your virginity. How did you deal with it?
Motherfuckers.
2 pump chump, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's been dealing
know.
with it that way ever since.
But you don't
remember. I'm so old, I don't remember. Right. No,
you just don't.
I totally appreciate that.
You try to do everything you think is
100%. 100%.
Dude, I think that's cool, dude. You have definitely whatever struggles you've had with it, you've definitely dealt with it well.
Fuck
your
yeah.
attitude towards everything is.
I think you should be
I can't blame
on top
every
of your
individual that was involved.
No, on top of your total 100% professionalism, culinary skills, you could be a fucking counselor to people. 100%. And I feel kind of blessed that my kids have got the opportunity to fucking interact with you because you just give a total different perspective
I can vouch for
to
that,
shit.
Actually, even before this,
100%.
He's bragged about how they've gotten to go to
always
things with you and do
these
but I just
that's life.
I don't know.
That's the way it is.
Know I can't grow up blaming everyone that was involved.
You know,
because the only person to blame is the person that did it.
And that
it's not going to fall on anyone else.
Fuck around. Dude.
They're just trying to help.
Yeah.
The fuck can I blame someone for trying to help?
Yeah.
No,
there you go.
Cool,
there you go right there. Perfect.
And you've turned it into a fucking awesome career.
Yeah.
And something that you love, it sounds like.
100%.
I think it's cool.
You are. Yeah. I'm just blessed. My kids got to interact with you.
I mean, we've had, my family's had tons of community support.
Yeah.
My sister's celebration of life was at the fairgrounds.
Over the years, yeah, definitely.
I think we had like 1,000 chairs out and like 3 were empty. You know what I mean? And no one was there to push agenda. They just wanted to be there.
Nope.
There was
more of a community fucking thing.
There was
the way it was supposed to be.
There was a couple that was like on the Canada-Washington border that was there because they heard the story and followed it.
Dude, like I said,
and they wanted to show their support. And it's like, you don't.
you couldn't drive through this area without seeing her face.
And it's, I was in upstate New York, and I was so actually kind of it fits but doesn't fit. So at a coworker's house, or his birthday, and there was fireworks going off, and everyone freaks out, and I was like, oh, it's just fireworks, and they're like, oh, it was a drive-by, and I'm like, oh, it's just fireworks. I don't fucking know. I'm from the country, dude. Everything sounds like fucking fireworks to me. And turns out it was a drive-by. But that was it. And there was nothing the day after. There was no one out the day after that, or the day after that. And it's like,
right.
There was no community around this event. So, I grew up here. It was like, there was community support everywhere.
100%. Yeah.
And so it's like, and then having the community support that shows that, it wasn't just another fucking day.
Sure.
It means a lot. And it means a lot to everyone else
that's cool. Yeah.
Everything goes on every day, and no one thinks twice about it until it happens to them sometimes. But then you have people that actually go out of their way to try and understand and help.
Sure.
That's what it's about.
And then
Plain and simple.
100%.
Yeah. It's like I can't blame everyone for trying to help.
No, that's cool. That's a healthy way to look at it.
I love it.
Inspiring. What were you doing in New York anyway?
I was working at the Genesee Valley Club. So it was a 5-star private city club. Oh, wow. It was established in 1885.
Wasn't that part of your schooling?
I was after I graduated.
So it was like a professional kitchen?
Yeah. The chef there, he's a master chef. So I went and worked for him for a year. I was actually planning on going to Oklahoma. He moved to Oklahoma, and I was planning to go there. But then my dad committed suicide, so I came back. And ended up staying in the area.
Not to be weird, but what the fuck is in Oklahoma?
It was the country club, and the chef I worked for.
Sure.
So
he has contacts, and
so he was.
That doesn't seem like a place where you'd find a 5-star chef.
That's why I said, what the hell, Oklahoma? What?
So he's back in New York now, at a country club.
Cool.
So, is working in a professional kitchen like it is on TV and freaking movies?
Yeah, the fucking...
I mean, it depends how much of a dick you want to be, yeah.
What's that one chef's name that has the...
Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay, total fucking raging asshole.
So, that does happen. Yeah. So
everything's just...
It does happen. That does happen from time to time.
I'm obsessed with those shows, dude. I don't know why.
So, I mean, obviously entertainment's entertainment, but he definitely knows his shit.
Well, yeah. Not putting against nobody.
Have you ever thought about going on one of those shows?
I have, actually. I interviewed for Cutthroat or Chopped once before. So, but when I submitted my application, I had a big old 6-inch fire red mohawk. And I actually I cut everything off like 2 days before I got the email that they want to do an interview. And in their interview, they're like, "Do you still have your mohawk?" And I'm like, "No."
Nope.
So I should have kept the mohawk.
So I did the interview and didn't get it. But I mean, again, it's entertainment.
I can grow it back. God damn it!
Yeah.
Do you have are there any of the big name chefs that you really freaking look as like mentor type people or look up to?
Big name is like entertainment side or like actual big names?
People that people would know.
National
no. Primarily primarily look at the people that are actually
real business wise fucking making it work.
Well, I mean like again, Ramsay, he's in it. Like he's not,
I view him as more entertainment than
he is entertainment, but he does come with a background that supports it.
Of course.
I personally like Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
Do you think you could beat Bobby Flay?
Let's do it. Get him down here. Let's do it.
I bet your barbecue's way better.
Dude, I love watching that show.
You get him down here in front of Umpqua Survival. We'll do it.
No, who's the other guy?
Dude, Bobby Flay would be good on the podcast, dude.
Let's
Guy
get him down
I
here.
bet he
We'll
could
do
drink
it.
some whiskey.
Get him down here. We'll do it.
Guy Fieri has done a lot of West Coast stuff.
Dude, Guy Fieri's awesome. Dude.
So, there was so I did do a little competition in Eugene, like the first year the pub was open. It was like
For O'Toole's.
Max Festival or something. I don't know. I don't really know what it was in Eugene, but one of the beer reps, he was helped putting it on, and so they did a salmon cook-off, and so I went up there and did it and won. One of the guys I was competing against was the place he worked at was just on diners, drive-ins, and dives. And
was it that fish market?
Yeah.
Dude, that place has an awesome stuff there.
So I competed against the fish market 2 weeks after they were actually there. Yeah. And won against them.
You beat them.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah, I actually ordered the I don't know, it's like a chowder, but it's got other stuff in it. It's like a chowder pot pie type thing. Freaking bomb, dude. That place got some shit.
Speaking of chowder, I had my kids because I wanted them to experience what I experienced growing up, digging clams. We went up to...
It was about Gavin.
Well, both the boys. And we got our fucking limits, whatever, 3 people. I asked Martin to make me a fucking... I think it was my 50th birthday.
Clam chowder?
Couple years ago.
Yeah.
Clam chowder. Holy fuck, dude. Spot the fuck on. One of the best that I've...
Anytime you want to make me clam chowder, I'm good.
Yeah.
Come on down. I love clam chowder.
It was phenomenal. Then after that, Gavin's like, oh, I know how to do this. Martin showed me everything and didn't quite turn out like what you did. But it was still good. It was chowder. And I loved it.
It was chowder.
You're fucking the shit you cooked up for me.
So who made the chowder on your last birthday when I stopped by?
Just me and Mom.
Ah.
I wasn't called.
No.
It wasn't. So is this a birthday?
It wasn't
a birthday
that
tradition now?
It wasn't that good.
Just me and Mom.
I don't know.
It wasn't that good. I only got called once.
The shit that he made that first year was just...
You're a professional. They don't want to trouble you.
It wasn't enough to call me back again.
You were busy. I did call. And
Are you sure?
Busy.
Did you call me?
No, not you.
See?
I called the other half. And
I would have made it happen.
That's why she didn't tell you.
I know.
But anyway, phenomenal shit, dude.
She's the gatekeeper, dude. The gatekeeper to good food.
So my uncle, by the way, he wants... I guess right now is the optimum time for them up there by... What is it? Where the fuck are they? Up in Washington.
They're out by Antioch or whatever.
Yeah.
Up there.
Westport, basically.
Razor clams?
Yes, is the time right now for them to be getting them. Yeah. He's like, dude, you need to drive up here. Because they're just, I guess, just smoking their limits big time. But I was like, well, you're more than welcome to just fucking gather them up. I will fucking pay the shipping. You can send them to me.
I usually deal with about 200-300 pounds of razor clams every April.
Yeah. But I want to say, I think it's called Westport, just below Westport. So it's not all the way down to Long Beach, but it's up there by Grays Harbor, basically. And that's where all my family's at. And that's where all those clams that you could, that's where they came from.
All right.
Nice. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hundreds of pounds.
So if you ever want fucking clam chowder.
He's making me hungry for fucking clam chowder now.
I tell you, Martin is the man. He knows his shit.
So what are some of your favorite things to eat?
Everything.
Ugh. Man. Fucking, yeah. I mean, really, everything. I mean,
What? So let me make it.
Like if
you're on your fucking last meal, what are you freaking making somebody make you?
Oh,
Who's making it?
I'll probably do a big old fat ribeye and asparagus.
There you go.
I mean, just simple. But I love pho. I mean, you know what I mean? So I love sushi. I mean, I'm all over the fucking board.
I'm right there with you, dude.
Every day is different, man.
I do want to go with you and have you go to, I guess we're pretty limited in Roseburg now between McClendon's, not Albertsons, Safeway, and find roast or whatever. I think it's roast that you can cut into, make steaks out of.
Prime rib?
Yeah.
Roast?
Well,
rib roast or
just,
New York
just
strip
anything,
loin?
buying the big roast and cutting steaks out of it. I've been I send Carlos TikToks or fucking.
Yeah, but I don't ever know if you're drunk when you send that stuff or if you're not.
I'm drunk, 100%.
You don't send me those.
But it's the guys, they're going.
You don't send them the guy that could tell you what to fucking do.
For value.
Oh, I'll tell them what to do.
They're buying the shoulder roast or whatever, and then the guy's cutting them into fucking steaks. And I think that would be kind of
He's a
cool.
chef, not a butcher.
Oh, he knows the cuts of meat. Right?
I was actually looking up like tri-tip. There it is.
Yeah.
Like $8.15 a pound.
People
Or
buying
like
tri-tips.
New York strip loin, like $9.12 a pound. I'm like, I'd rather have the New York over the fucking tri-tip.
And they're making cuts of meat out of it.
And it's, tri-tips done wrong a lot. Everyone does the low and slow. It's not really designed to cook like that. There's not a whole lot of marbling. There's a whole lot of...
Sear it and fucking go.
It's
Pray.
hot and fast is what I always do.
I gotcha.
He's the wizard right there.
I get a lot of flack for that.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's going to tell me I'm wrong, but,
Whatever.
show me where all the connective tissue
Hey,
is.
if it tastes good, fucking, you can't be wrong.
Show me all the connective
It's all about
tissue
how it
that
ends
needs to
up.
be
I
broken
think it was
down.
at Winco. And he had whatever. They had a bunch of fucking roasts, shoulder roasts and shit put out. So I'm sitting there flipping through all this shit, getting fucking blood all over me because their packaging sucks. And trying to look at the marbling of the cut and like $20-some a pound or something like that. Or
That sounds expensive, dude.
I know.
For shoulder
I think
roast?
you're talking about $20 a package.
It was for the roast for like $20 for whatever the roast was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's $20 a pound. You should be like
Right.
tenderloin.
But then you take that home and then you cut your fucking cuts of steak out of that. You get like 4 or 5 steaks out of that fucking roast meat. I'm pretty sure I've sent you videos of the guys doing
you
that
sent me
shit.
stuff. As long as you don't let your mom cut it into the steaks.
I know.
I
I fucking went and about some, what was it?
Did he tell you about this?
2-inch, 1.5 inch. I'm pretty sure they were roast cuts, but she was going to help me out, and she decided to cut steaks out of it. So they ended up being like fucking 1/4 inch, more like fucking roast beef fucking slices. And package them all up for fucking, there's 2 steaks there, and you can unthaw them because we freeze them, refreeze them, whatever. And I open it up, and there's this fucking steak that's like, I don't even think it was a 1/2 inch. And she's like, I was trying to help you out and cut these up for you. And no, that ain't going to work. That's like fucking maybe 7 minutes on the barbecue.
2.5 on one side, 2.5 on the other.
So.
Quick meal.
Yeah, quick fucking fajita meat. Go ahead and just slice it and put it on the goddamn griddle.
He was so mad about that, dude. It was hilarious.
Yeah, all that time.
At that point, that's small enough. It's just going to heat up by the friction of cutting it.
I swear to God that the one steak was 1/2 inch.
So do you watch any of this stuff on TV? Any of the cooking shows or any of that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like that stuff?
Yeah, I'll watch it every once in a while.
Is any of it pretty realistic? Or? Dude, I'm obsessed with that show, The Beef. Have you ever watched that?
I don't think I've seen The Beef.
It's freaking awesome.
One of the last ones I saw on Netflix was it's like the Culinary Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was like the Korean show. It was like 110 chefs, the white spoons versus black spoons.
Oh, wow.
It's all subtitle and shit, but it's...
They all break it down to like the top 4 or top...
But it's kind of like, the first day they cut like half of it. You know what I mean? It's just that kind of intense, but they have... that one was pretty cool.
Yeah. The Beef isn't a cooking show like that. The Beef is like it's got like one of the main guys from what's that show called? Freaking shit, what's that show called?
I don't know.
Foolish? Not Foolish.
Oh, Shameless.
Shameless. It's got the main guy from that in it, and it's got Maddie Matheson's in it.
I watched the first season of that, and I have the second season when they start off like having Christmas dinner.
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't finished that episode, and I just can't get past that. I'm like, all right, I'll watch it, and I'm like, fuck no, it's too much. I haven't skipped it. I'm just like, I'll fucking put that.
I kind of think of every time I see...
but I am jealous of that motherfucker because he actually got to work with some pretty good fucking chefs.
Dude, there are. I didn't even know that until after I finished watching that show.
No, he got to work with Chef Keller out of fucking the French Laundry and shit, which is just like very...
Some people that you really respect.
Like, professionally side, like, non-entertainment, like...
It's like our
just insane, like, you fucking met this motherfucker, and...
Our buddy...
Fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? Like for TV, but I get it. No, but it's cool, though, but it also shows the respect that he was able to actually...
Try and make it look real.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like
practical and real.
Like there's that part where he's like sitting on a milk crate drinking out of a quart container. 100% fucking real. I drink out of quart containers that's 100% real.
Well, so that's why I like that show really, because it seems there's so much ups and downs to that show. It feels real.
It shouldn't be that many ups and downs.
Yeah.
Like, you should have a handle on most things.
Yeah.
And when things get out of handle, you should be able to wrangle them in pretty quick if you know what the fuck you're doing.
But I think he's supposed to be portraying a train wreck.
And again, I mean, that's...
Remember our...
I get that. But...
you got to meet Ernie today.
Yeah.
His buddy, and they do guide service, whatever. Remember the episode that he had that they cooked the fucking rabbit?
Oh, yeah.
The jackrabbit. The guy was from fucking France?
England. He's a hunting guide, and they had this chef on.
Yeah.
They guided this chef he's got an English YouTube channel and stuff that's really popular. Well, it was fogged in, so they weren't seeing any deer.
So your guy shot jackrabbit.
The guy's like, "Hey, can I?"
This is local.
Bear?
Yeah,
this is local.
Oh.
And out here by my mom and dad's local.
Yeah,
Well,
so he's like,
do that.
He's like, so can we shoot some of these rabbits? And they're like, well, sure.
Yeah, they're
but
varmints.
You don't want to eat those. They're like rats. Because, we're brought up around here that you don't eat jackrabbits.
Yeah.
They're nasty.
Overpopulated.
So he freaking shoots some rabbits. And then later that day, he gets his blacktail, whatever. And they go back. He butchers the chef butchers this freaking processes this deer, which was cool because he showed them some different ways of processing
cutting meat
that they weren't familiar with. Like one of the things
instead of butterfly steaks, it was something else.
Yeah, they did this one thing where he calls it a saddle cut.
Basically, a tomahawk cut.
He calls it a saddle cut.
Yeah,
which basically instead of cutting the back strap and everything out, basically he took the whole deer and cut it between each rib
Right.
So that you have a little chunk of backstrap,
little bitty fucking
a little bit of
tomahawk.
rib meat, and you've got all this different meat all into each cut. And they called it a saddle cut. That's what he called it.
But through the whole thing, these guys, our friend Ernie and the other guy that you got to meet today, and the other guy, they're like, I will never eat that fucking jackrabbit.
Yeah, they're like, I'm never trying that.
That's fucking varmint shit.
So he cooked it up. He freaking butchered those jackrabbits and butchered it.
Yeah.
And made it into a chili that they served like tacos.
Yeah, on a
and all of those guys actually tried it and said it was fucking
the
amazing.
best shit they've ever fucking had.
I like rabbit.
Yeah.
I
love rabbit too, but I would have thought the same as them. I would not have ate a jackrabbit.
There's a real popular show.
I'll try anything 9 times before I decide I don't like it. There's more than one way to cook a rabbit.
Well, I would have tried it, but
real popular show lately is called Meat Eaters. I can't remember the guy's name.
Steve
Ranella. And he does a lot of
he hunts
West Coast shit. Whatever he kills, he cooks right there. And some of his shit, some of the recipes that he shows and the authentic way to cook stuff, like from Chile, South America, all the way up to Alaska. He's showing how to do this shit. You pull an oyster out of the fucking ocean, or whitefish, bottom fish, whatever, or the caribou or the deer or moose. Some of that shit is just phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a wild game.
Yeah.
Guy. And he
does both the hunting aspect,
hunts or fishes it,
and the culinary aspect.
And then he shows how to prepare it.
Like on some of the stuff he did in Monterey, I think it was the bottom fish or whatever, seafood, using the abalone or the, I guess, white bass or black bass or something like that. Seafood, basically. And he was using the fucking kelp and all that shit to cook it with. And that to me is kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
He's been to the local, what the fuck you call it, the sportsman shows.
The Portland one.
Okay.
All over Northwest.
He's been to the Portland sportsman show a couple times.
Yeah, I'd like to have like a carnival, like a I don't know how to
Carnivore?
say it. Like a carnival.
Clowns?
Of what?
No, like a carnival.
Copy.
Carnival. Okay.
Like just like
everything that you
kind
could
of like a 2-3 day event where just all sorts of just different everything from.
I'll be the clown.
Yeah, dude, I think
like
that'd be awesome.
Live action cooking to barbecue to smoke, to smoking, barbecuing, grilling.
That would be badass.
Frying, just kind of the whole open pit, everything kind of from just all sorts of different.
Yeah, there's so many ways to cook things. It's amazing.
And just different animals.
Local, the local game or whatever you want to call it. That seems kind of cool to me. Yeah. Everything that in this area.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. I think
from
it'd be cool
fucking
to do
beef,
something like
chicken,
that.
pig, fucking.
I'm obsessed
nutria,
with Dutch
fucking
ovens, dude. I'm obsessed
geese.
with Dutch ovens.
Yeah,
and my smoker for some reason. So
I'll be your clown. I'll dress up. And
dude, Mike likes to be the.
You gonna wear a barrel?
I'll have them happy hands.
Mike just likes to taste test. We go to
Put it in my mouth, motherfucker.
We go to elk camp, like I said.
Whoa, wait a minute.
And it's all about eating at elk camp.
Yes.
But Mike just comes along. Mike brings lots of food, but he doesn't cook nothing.
Lots of whiskey.
He just brings supplies.
Here's a couple
just
pounds
of it out.
Here's a bunch of
sits around and
potatoes.
watches me and our buddy Shane.
Here's 12
everything,
fucking pounds
everything.
of cheese. Here, go ahead, guys. Here's some onions. Fuck.
It's freaking funny, dude.
It's awesome.
Onions and cheese.
Oh,
Whatever.
peppers,
That's all you
dude.
bring.
We
I
love to
bring
make
it.
everything
Peppers,
spicy as
fresh
shit.
fucking shit.
Yeah. But
I was
we
like,
always
cook it
have
up,
fun.
you fuckers.
We try different recipes all the time.
If not,
So
I'm eating
our buddy
granola
Shane,
bars.
Like I said, he grew up over in Virginia, and Virginia, West Virginia, wherever. And they had, his family did a big, like camp out, cookout thing every year.
The family reunion stuff, yeah.
And he said that they had this
they would all
8-foot fire pit.
They would all
and they'd all get there was like a dozen kind of Dutch ovens around it.
Family competition with Dutch ovens, yeah.
And there'd be everything from
breakfast
main courses to desserts.
Have you seen that guy that has the Dutch ovens that he stacks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he stacks them based on what they are. So everything's done at the same time.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I think I've seen these guys, Shane and Carlos, they get together. I've watched them do 2 at a time.
Yeah.
It was he'll have
though. We just have them next to
he'll have them stacked like, proteins, this, and so it's one meal, but it's all done at the same time. Have it stacked.
Cool.
That's pretty fucking
I don't know who it
badass.
is.
I love that fucking cowboy fucking breakfast, whatever you guys call it.
Yeah.
Just fucking phenomenal, dude.
It's just a bunch of shit thrown in.
It is. And then biscuits on top of it.
The best thing, that's the best part about
Dutch cowboy in front of anything is just whatever the fuck is around.
When the lid lifts up, it's fucking done to eat.
The best thing about Dutch ovens is you can cook shit and then cook biscuits or bread or whatever on top of it.
Oh, these guys, both Shane and him, got together and they made
peach
fucking
cobbler type peach upside down cake.
Exactly.
Definitely. But they made lasagna, the layered fucking lasagna, and dude, that was fucking badass.
All lasagna is layered.
Yeah.
Well, on a Dutch oven.
Otherwise, it's just spaghetti.
Kind of odd.
That's true. That's true.
And then
but yeah,
jambalaya or whatever you call it, the fry that you guys did,
stuff,
alligator fucking.
But yeah, I had never even messed with one, and then I met my buddy Shane, and
it's badass. Stuff. I think it's cool as fuck.
I like learning new things, especially when it comes to cooking. I like doing different kinds of cooking. Yeah. So that's how I got into it. And Mike,
I'll eat it. I don't give a shit. I'll eat it.
And then he was having such a hard time breathing for a long time.
Yeah.
And we figured out that anytime he eats really spicy shit, he can breathe for a while.
So they'd fucking light
they'd
totally light my ass up.
I like to freaking melt people's face off when I cook stuff. So that's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Can't make it spicy enough for me.
Spicy apple crisp.
Challenge accepted.
Fuck.
I'll take it, dude. But yeah. Anyways, dude, we've been talking for a long ass time, so we probably should wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm probably.
Yeah. Dude, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, that was fun.
I knew it was gonna be fun talking to you, dude.
I love it.
That was fun.
Honestly, I do a little prep sheet for every episode, and I don't know if I've ever had a prep sheet so full. You have a lot of stuff going on.
Talking on.
Yeah. And
topics.
Well, almost all of it's food, dude. I mean, you are just like a guru.
He's Martin.
Yeah. I mean,
what does my mom call you? The Chef Martin.
Chef Martin, yeah.
There it is.
And that's really who you
100%.
are. And I know I ate your stuff when you did John's graduation party, and that stuff was awesome. And all you were doing was freaking standing there telling me how it was shit, that you couldn't do what you really wanted to do.
That was a while
Wait till
ago.
I get my trailer, blah, 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 blah.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
So Gavin had the tacos.
That's when I had
Jonathan
my portable deep fryer.
Yeah. So, I mean, but everything I've had was awesome. Everything I've seen online looks amazing. Mike never stops talking about you. He's
kind of like the guy.
You're one of the he's proud of you like he's proud of one of his kids.
I kind of like the guy a little bit.
I am likable.
Yeah.
And
must be that fucking beard.
I'm proud of you too, dude. But I'm proud of you for a different reason. I'm proud of you because you're able to put up with freaking Jamie's shit. I don't understand it.
You edit this out, right?
And I had to throw that in there because I want her to give me a hard time. And because I know she's going to hear this and go, fuck you, Carlos.
It's all good.
Because it's never fun unless you can piss people's old lady off.
No, but no, I love it. She puts up with my shit.
100%.
You guys are
It's
So-
two ways.
You guys seem very different,
No, but you
But-
mesh perfect.
but I understand it because me and Sarah are very different.
She puts up with my shit, and I try wholeheartedly to
Reluctantly
do my
put up with her
damnedest to
shit.
make sure that I don't fucking that I make sure my shit works with our shit.
Sometimes it takes opposite people to balance each other out.
Well,
My
just
shit, her shit turns into our shit.
well, it's just like our shit's different than
it.
my shit.
I love it.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes, so it's like I gotta make sure that
Yeah,
my shit and our shit has to coexist.
that's my girl.
Like it's,
You guys are awesome,
so,
Yeah, no, it's
both
killer.
of you.
and
Happy for you
there's days it doesn't work and I get in trouble and that's
Well,
all right.
of course.
Because I'll figure it out later.
That's
Well,
the way
I'm
it
happy
works.
for you guys.
That's the way it works.
I'm super happy for how things are going for you. Sounds like things out of our
I'd
run.
really love to see
well.
you guys do the competition thing, or
Yeah.
not even the competition part of it, just the. You know,
And maybe we need to talk. Maybe we need to talk in the future about putting together some kind of a wild game banquet.
oh hell,
Thanks for being on the show, dude. I think it was awesome.
I love it,
Uh,
Martin. You're the man.
Sometimes.
you're cool.
Straight the fuck
You
up.
got Mike talking a whole bunch. People are gonna be like, Mike was talking so much.
Wow.
Well,
Mike's got fans, dude. I don't have shit for fans. Mike's
he
got
doesn't.
fans.
She doesn't shut up when I'm around.
Your name's Carlos. So.
Yeah. But when you're around, when nobody else is
that's
around, you
Martin.
don't want to listen to what he's saying.
Fucking Chef Martin, motherfucker.
Yeah.
He just
Motherfucker.
babbles
put that on my
about
name tag.
shit. And then you're like, dude, will you shut up? Well, he's like, I gotta pee. Okay,
yeah,
we'll
well,
stop.
that's part of it is just phenomenal. He can put up with Jamie's shit. And
Off the record.
I just love the guy.
Yeah, you're like a
Off the
superhero.
record.
You're like a superhero.
Yes. You guys are my rock, dude.
Oh.
I love it. Both,
Anyone that
both
knows
of you
Jamie
guys.
knows that we had to throw that in there just to get
we're
fired
we're
up.
the Rock, but he never calls us.
No.
Got it.
Yeah.
No, I don't call shit.
I'll tell you what, though, he never stops talking about you guys.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, it's awesome. I really appreciate you being on the show, though. Hope you had fun.
Oh, that was a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us dig
Definitely.
up your freaking painful days.
Yeah, and definitely I would love to
Again.
see the
You can Google my life. It's there.
Yeah,
It's
not a lot of people. You can do that.
It's not a mystery.
No. Yeah.
My fucking life has been in the paper since I was fucking 10.
That's crazy.
yeah,
dude.
10
That's
years
crazy.
old.
So. Oh, this is just for Jamie. I was an international male model when I was 5.
International male.
Yeah, I
model.
modeled in
Yeah.
Japan when I was 5. So
You
I have to
did?
throw that. I have to throw that out there.
His feet and
They
his
do
hands.
like the bigger guys in Japan.
Just his
They
feet.
think they're sexy.
I was 5 years old. I was
Just
a
his
little
feet
towhead.
and his hands.
A
That
little
was
toe-
it.
I was a towhead, dude.
Just
I
the
was
feet and hands. That was all
fucking
that
bleach
you
blonde
modeled.
hair, green eyes, dude. I was a little towhead.
International model.
Yeah.
If I would have known that, I would have put that as your title.
I
would have said international model.
I have to throw it
Martin
out there
Condon.
because Jamie's like, you didn't mention it. Because you got to put it on my resume. International
I'm
male
telling
model.
She should have told. I should have reached out to her.
Foot and hand
She would
model.
have said that, and I would have
Whole
introduced
body.
you as that.
No. I
Whole
know,
body.
I know the truth.
Let's
It's
go
just
back.
Whole body.
Your
I got
feet
the
and your
catalog.
hands.
International male model.
I got the catalog.
There's a catalog. That's creepy. as
Were you-
shit.
was it J.C. Penney's or something?
No, it was in Japan.
Japan.
It sounds like a freaking.
I can't read
Okay,
the
it was
It's
a
label.
like
Bon
a
Marché.
pedophile catalog. That's
Bon
what
Marché.
It was like a J.C. Penney, but for
Yeah.
Japan. So whatever. I don't know what it says. I don't speak
love it.
Japanese.
It does not sound good
Does
at
not.
all.
No.
I don't know if I'd
Yeah.
brag about that.
I was a child model in Japan.
He was like, "Look at
but
me.
internationally, male
Look
model.
at me.
They're like, look how pasty that kid is.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, he's so pasty.
He's American. American boy.
I'm the odd man out, man. What do you expect?
Oh, God.
I love it. I fucking love it.
But I gotta throw it out there because Jamie, I throw it out there all the time.
Right, right.
Because she says that you should.
No, because she's like, "What the fuck?" You say that? I'm like, "Yeah, international model." I'm like,
Oh, gosh.
I was modeling
Oh, that's
internationally.
The most famous
We're fucking
motherfucking
with her in
feet
one way,
ever.
you're fucking with her with another.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do
Yeah,
too.
I modeled internationally.
How you doing?
Love it. This way, if she calls me up and cusses me out, I'll know she actually listened to the whole episode.
Right.
Right.
I dig it. We did it right at the end.
You did.
Right, exactly. Snuck it in
That's
there.
fucking badass. I love
Anyways, man, I hope you had fun.
you. It's awesome.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
man.
Thanks for coming on.
We'll have to do this more.
Yeah, dude. We have a good time doing it. Mike, it's always good to have you.
Hey.
Maybe next time we put Mike in the hot seat.
Do it.
I already had Mike in the hot seat.
I just sat here.
We had fucking the same conversation 4 times.
Over
Sounds
and over
about
and
right.
over.
Yeah.
And he forgot how to record.
By the 4th time, we were pretty drunk.
Yeah.
The very
And
first.
honestly,
the very
I think
first
people
one.
liked it because
Yeah.
that's the best. That episode
Honest.
has almost
the most
100.
fucking reviews.
That
the
has
most,
the biggest,
The most
freaking following.
honest, just like you
We
don't
were
know.
Well,
like-
no, that
Yeah.
episode has been listened to more than any
He finally
other
got to
episode.
the point like, fuck it. We're not talking about this anymore. Let's just talk.
Yeah, it was horrible, but
It was great.
people love it because that's the best episode I've ever had.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we'll call it for today. Thank you both for being on the show,
Yeah.
and
Thank you. Where are we at?
reminder that when you need anything, make sure you go to Umpqua Survival.
There you go.
And until next time, you
Put
guys have a
that
good
plug
weekend.
in there.
That's right. I'm the one that sponsors it, so I gotta plug my own business.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if anyone's interested in sponsoring the podcast,
Do it.
let me know because I'll be happy to
Do it.
What's that
throw
cost?
some
Like
plugs in for you too.
fifth of bourbon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Is there-
it's a little more expensive than that, but
Is there any local
Yeah.
bourbon?
Are you sure?
I'm sure there is. I'll try it.
I can
Local?
get some local shine.
I just found
Yeah,
out that
I know.
there's. I just found out that there's a local company making cigars.
What?
Yeah, my buddy's gonna hook me up with them so that I can try and do something with them. I want to
What
get them on the
fu- I
podcast.
thought that was totally illegal.
No, it's
You just
not
can't
illegal.
talk. You just can't talk.
It's
about
only
it online.
illegal to get cigars from.
I thought it was worse than
like
fucking
Cuba.
growing
No, it's
fucking
not. We
weed.
don't have a fucking embargo anymore.
Not anymore.
Yes, we do. They
Did they open that back
they
up?
lifted it and then they put it right back.
Thanks,
Fucking
Obama.
bastard.
Yeah, no.
It's Trump's fault. Fuck them.
I thought that too. And so when
America's
I,
fault.
So
America.
Fucking
so
America.
short story.
America.
I was shutting the podcast off, but now we're coming back. So
Can they see us?
no, that's Amanda. She's picking
Yeah.
that up. Anyways,
Man,
so I was on the cruise when I went to my Alaska cruise. I could not wait until we went to Vancouver because I could buy some Cuban cigars while we were there. Well, then I was sitting on the smoking deck the day before we got there, and I'm talking to this lady who told me the same shit that you just told me. Oh, they lifted that. You can buy them anywhere. So I did not go to a cigar shop and buy fucking Cuban cigars. That night, I got back on the freaking ship, sitting in the fucking smoking section, smoking a cigar, not a Cuban cigar, because I did not go to the cigar shop. And I was talking to a guy, he goes, oh no, they only lifted it for about 6 months. And then they reenacted it. So no, you still can't get Cuban cigars.
Right.
And absolutely you can't. So that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I'm good. Everybody else, you have a good weekend. And until next time, can't wait to talk.